I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the result. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena on. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be, what's good? It's the #1 T rocker in Knicks universe, your main man, Uncle Freezy. I'm joined by the dude that's so smooth he don't require a chaser, your main man, Anthony D, the host of Old School Knicks Sundays at 11 a.m. Y'all want this party started right. Y'all want this party started quickly, right? Let me first say something real quick. I got so much stuff to. It's like that Snoop Dogg song with so much drama in the LBC. It's kind of hard being Snoop D-O-double-G. When I heard them say that, I was like, I heard that today. I was like, with so much drama in MSG, it's kind of hard being your main man, Uncle Freezy. Lord have mercy. What is going on out here in these streets? First of all, let me give a sincere thanks to everybody supporting Blorange Tears on the audio podcast platform. Everybody supporting us in the merch store. We just updated the merch store. You see what we got in there? We got a bunch of merch in there. I just pulled up one product. It's the Normandy and Weston twin shirt. In the merch store, y'all go check that out. Right. Let me do and the link to the merch store is in the description. The link to the audio podcast are in the description, and the link to the Patreon for those of y'all looking to help support your man. Over on Patreon, give your man like $1 a month or $2 a month, so that I could pay for stuff to help make this experience that we all going through better. But let me get on this thing about so much drama in the MSG. How and listen, shout out to Todd Barbie, because Todd Barbie helped me through this. I was chilling. Todd Barbie mentioned this to me. Shout out to Todd Barbie. How in the world, in what universe, does the boss give you complete autonomy to do whatever it is that you want to do? You do it, realize you made a mistake or you don't like it, and you start all over from scratch. 5, 6, 7 times. At what point does your boss hold you accountable for making these mistakes? At what point does your boss say, I don't care who you draft, just draft us a good player. You draft Obi Toppin, and then the very next offseason, you got Obi Toppin in every trade scenario imaginable. At what point do you know Knicks fans dislike Julius Randle and don't want Randle as a part of the franchise? And then not only do you not listen to us and I'm saying us as a whole. I like Randle, but I'm saying us as a whole. You don't listen to the fan base and give him a contract extension. You're like, the fans don't know what they're talking about. What the fans say don't matter. And I like Randle, by the way. I like Randle. I'm talking about for the masses. Right? At what point do you sell your fan base on you are building for the future? You go into the draft and don't even bring home a first round talent. And when at the very end of the season you set your behind up there with Mike Breen and said, we gonna build the right way. We're gonna develop these kids, and then the draft comes and you don't even draft up, you don't even bring a first round pick home. And then you sit up there and say, well, the most important thing for us is making the playoffs, and you don't. AD, are we in too deep? Is this CAA thing too deep? Is not Leon Rose. Is James Dolan in over his head with this CAA mafia type affiliation?
He's been over his head with them.
Oh God.
Let me first say salute to Nick Nation and so forth, and thank you guys for rocking with us on an impromptu, let's bring the heat tonight, because I know you fired up, and I wasn't fired up until I heard you get started a while ago. I kind of been tempering my enthusiasm for the organization, since then, because I feel broken. You know what I mean? I feel like the trust between myself and the organization that I've grown to love since I was a little boy. I think that there's a disconnect here, and I just don't understand it. I can't go on to the next. I can't just easily just say, on to the next.
Right.
Oh, you didn't get that one that you should have drafted when you drafted Obi. All right. Oh, no, you didn't get him. All right. On to the next. Oh, you didn't get DeJounte Murray. All right.
But AD Knicks fans are already like, yo, let's just go after SGA then.
It's so, and I just refuse to be toyed with like this anymore.
Right.
I don't understand it. Like, Mr. Dolan, what they promised you that they were going to do, they have not done. And I don't think you need 7-8 years, which you've never given anybody.
Right.
To see that. Like,
right.
Even from an agent standpoint, he has not been able to deliver the goods. And I'm not calling Brunson the goods. Sorry.
Okay. So let me stop me if you heard this before. A former player in the NBA ascended to the coaching ranks, and now his son is a free agent in the league, but that son has been a part of our family forever. We're going to do what we can to bring him home and be part of the family. Welcome home, Austin Rivers. Doc Rivers was a player in this league. Doc Rivers was a coach in this league. Doc Rivers is best friends with Tom Thibodeau and blah, blah, and his son is a free agent and blah, blah. We said all of that was the cover-all. That was a catch-all because we couldn't get a prize free agent, nor could we trade for anybody. So the catch-all was, hey, we bring in a family member home. Right?
Yep.
So then you fast forward a year later, you're thinking like, okay, that was real last year. That would happen with bringing Austin Rivers here, man. Bring family home. But all of a sudden, you can't trade for anybody. You don't have a draft pick. So the story is, hey man, this former coach that had a relationship within the league, he a former player. His son is a free agent. Welcome home, Jalen Brunson. Wait a minute. Y'all pulled that trick on me last year. You can't. You wait a minute. You using the same trick twice, bro? Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, and they'll do it again, and again, and again, and again. If you let them, the fallout that you're hearing from these different outlets of how the negotiations were handled or not handled or whatever, it's comical. You know what I mean? It's comical. And for any Knicks fan to feel like, oh, this was the right way to go about this, that, and the third. Okay. I just got one question for you. Why stockpile the picks?
Right.
Okay. If this is the route that you wanted to go all along, then you have no need for draft picks.
Right.
Then you to why are you stockpiling them?
Right. Right.
Like,
AD,
are we using?
You got some music playing in the background?
Yeah, I got some Isaac Hayes.
Yeah, I hear it. I think YouTube gonna shut us down, bro.
My bad. Let me move. Yeah. Yeah. So again, why stockpile the picks, Reezy? Make sense out of that.
Because selling the future saves you today. You can get by today by selling the future, right? It's why when some jobs don't pay you what other jobs pay you, and they sell you on a 401k, they were like, "Well, we matched you a 401k all the way to such and such." And I'm thinking about like, well, I need gas money to make it to work next week. I can't think about what's gonna happen in 30 years. It's just small stuff. That small things, bro. It's
no way to run an organization. God, Jesus Christ. We bring in these guys, right? These are supposed to be basketball people with years of experience, years of basketball intel and the ins and the outs and the knowing of the game. You should not be getting fallout that the lead person in negotiations was someone that fumbled something in another league's. Like, how does that surface all of a sudden?
All of a sudden, bro.
All of a sudden, now we know that there was a lead point person in negotiations, and his name wasn't Rose.
Right. And you remember that 70s sitcom, Who's the Boss?
Yes. 80s. Who's the boss?
80s. I'm sorry. 80s. I'm sorry. 80s. My mistake. It always makes me think. We always thought that Tony was the boss, right? Actually, it was Mona, the mother-in-law, the
mother-in-law, right?
Yeah. You remember how she was the one that was directing the entire house. Tony, and the woman was too busy playing googly eyes with each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Actually, Mona was the boss, bro.
Mona was the boss. Right, Judith Light wore the pants and Tony Danza wore the apron.
Yeah. Yes. Basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, how are you gonna tell me if they are saying if the narrative out of this botched spider chase is blame Brock Aller for fumbling, then everybody got to go, bro. I don't care. Everybody.
It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you wanna give up some scout that was in Utah that told you whatever. I don't care who you want to give up. It doesn't matter.
Right.
You all need to go. Mr. Dolan, relieve these people of their positions. I get it. I know they spent a lot of your money over these last 4 years, and you haven't gotten anything back. I get it. They just saddled you with a Brunson's contract that we still don't know about. I get it. Fine, I get it. Cut your losses, homeboy.
Cut your losses, man. Move on.
Cut your losses, man.
Hey,
like,
how bad do you want to win? Chat. Y'all tell me how badly do you want the Knicks to win an NBA title? Right? I'm gonna put the options in the chat, and it's gonna be simple: now or later.
You know, Freezy, for me though, Freezy, it's I want to be consistently good.
Right.
You see, because here's the problem, Freezy, and this is what I'm saying. It's not conjecture, it's not circumstantial. This is facts, right? Because of the team's biggest star imploding, right? They were unable to make even the play-in game. Okay? So when you don't make the play-in game, you're left, your draft status, you're left like in purgatory. Right? The only way you're going to be able to get the guy that you think that you need to help you change the course of your direction is you're going to have to pay for it. Right? What did we hear during the draft? We heard it was Jaden Ivey. Knicks is hot after Jaden Ivey.
Yeah.
Up until the very half hour before it's time for us to pick. Right. Doesn't happen. What do we hear from them? They're not willing to pay the price. We go, okay, he's not really the guy we were after anyway. It would have been nice to fantasize, to have that young kid, fine. All of a sudden now, DeJounte Murray, all of that Knicks talk, that the loyal Knicks fan base that had been talking about DeJounte Murray the last 2 years, that were talking him up and saying like, look, this is a possibility. All of a sudden, it comes on the table. The Knicks are not nowhere near the deal. Freezy?
Right.
Okay. All right, fine. Oh, here it is. It's now the object of our desire now. It's what we've been sold is coming down. Here's now Donovan. Okay? And so on and so on. And now here we are today. You don't pull this deal. You still have 11, 12, 13, whatever, how many draft picks you still have. You still have it. And you're going to sell us that Brunson is going to be the difference in this team going forward. Fire these people now.
Right.
Move on with life.
Right. I feel you. I feel you on this. I'm frustrated that the team doesn't take a direction and move in that direction. I'm frustrated that these supposed basketball lifers with all these inside relationships and resources can't get us any closer than we would have been without them. Right? It's frustrating to me because ultimately I think the answer to all of this, where we get closer to championships, man, is building through the draft. Right? That's why I asked the win later part of the win now or win later. Right? When now do you and I'm going to get back to the personnel department, right? But I want to establish where I was going with this whole thing in the first place, right? So if you win now, that means you cobble together a bunch of young veterans on decent, on cap-friendly contracts with high upside and make numerous playoff pushes. Like get you a 3 or 4 year window. Numerous playoff pushes. I think that's what they were trying to do in the first place. Right? I think they thought Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, Julius Randle, and some other veterans could help them push towards their championship window. Right? I do also believe that they don't have faith in this young core. And most of this young core that we have, they handpicked it. So how do you not have faith in something that you handpicked? You know what that tells me? You don't know what you're doing. So okay, so if you in chat, if you are in win now or win later mode, right? Trade all these babies. Go get some talent that can play right now. Go get a Donovan Mitchell that can play right. He's a baller at this moment. Go get him and add pieces around him and Brunson and Randle and try to make a push for a championship. Or strip this thing down to the bare bones, get into the lottery, try to find you a 2 or 3 guys that are gonna provide a culture of sustainable winning for about 10 or 11 years that could all play together and make a playoff push once they are ready. Right? It's win now or win later. And I have the poll up in the chat. Chat, what do y'all want to do? Do you want to go after star or do you want to go star chasing? Do you feel like this franchise needs a star, deserves a star? Do you feel like this? Are you tired of on any given night, some random cat from some random team can outshine your best player? And it happens. I saw Anthony Simons do it. Right? Zeke Naji murdered us one night. And people are like, well, who the hell is Zeke Naji? Nah, the question is not who the hell is Zeke Naji. The question should have been, how come our star couldn't outdo Zeke Naji? Because we didn't have one. That's why. So do you want to go get a star or do you want to go get a young core and build it from scratch? Y'all see the poll? The poll is right there at your fingertips. Y'all go to the poll and give me y'all answers. Go ahead, AD.
I think he should. But here's the thing. I think you should add to the poll because I think there's a third option. And I've never subscribed to the either you go get all the veterans or you go get all of the young. I don't know. That's not how you do it, Freezy. You see what I'm saying? If you want to say your foundation, okay, is the young, the guys you draft, that's your foundation. You want to point to Golden State and say, well, they drafted Clay. They drafted Steph. They drafted Draymond.
They drafted Bellinelli. They drafted Bellinelli. They drafted Anthony Randolph.
Right.
They drafted
the glue. Right? That's fine. Those were the mortar, the glue, the Livingstons. See what I'm saying? The Andrew Bogut's. These are pieces that they did not draft. The Iguodalas.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? If you want to be, the elephant in the room, the KDs.
It's New Yorkers just need too many options, bro. When you live in the city, you have so many options. You just expect that to be a way of life. You're like, I don't need pizza. I can go eat. I can go to Queens, and you go to Queens. Queens got all these different establishments. Yeah. But the reason. But
what I'm saying is, go ahead. Go ahead, Jay.
So the reason why I stripped it down is because I think that is what baffles the Knicks front office and the Mets and the Jets is this mindset that they feel like they need more than one option. No, man, limit it to 2 directions, either forwards or backwards. Which way are you going? When teams have all these directions and these things that they want to do and go, and all these voices that feel like they have to be heard because of teams get stuck in purgatory. If you're the Knicks, either strip it down to the bare bones and draft and play some kids, or go out and get some veterans to try to win right now. Right? And because the thing is like when you try to mix, like, yeah, let's go get Steph Curry and then back up the roster with kids. Nah. What's the point of having kids that can't play anyway? Right? Or you go get all these kids, you draft all these kids, and then you bring in veterans, and your kids can't play because the veterans are better than them. You gotta just pick one direction and go with it. This is what's handcuffing us right now. We have a bunch of kids. At the end of the season, we had a bunch of veterans, and guess what we had? Dudes was coming on here saying, no, you can't have a small back. You got to have a 6'6" backcourt. Well, we had a 6'6" backcourt. People was like, man, nah, man, you got to have rim protection and all that stuff. Man, bump that guy that can spread the floor. Man, you need rim protection. You got to win. Defense win championships. Really. The Knicks were 9th in the NBA in defensive rating and didn't even make the playoffs. What I'm saying is just pick one direction. Pick one direction and go with it.
Overrated. Okay. You've heard me say this on there. The Knicks were 9th in total defense, right? A couple years before, they're number 1 in total defense, right? Tells you what? Defense didn't matter.
Defense doesn't win championships.
Doesn't win championships in today's game. It doesn't.
It's a buzzword. It's a buzz phrase.
It's a buzzword, and people, they need to you're living in the past. You have a coach who's living in the past. You can want the effort, no doubt. Is there crunch moments in certain games where you know you need a good defensive possession? Absolutely.
Of course.
No question about it. But that's moments. See what I'm saying? That's not the entire game because you're playing against it. You're doing everything you do, even on your own team offensively, to demise your defensive strategy because you're gonna bring in a guy that you know that can't play the type of defense you want to play.
Okay, so here's the thing I really want to get to, man, and I'm not trying to bash this one thing or one way or the other. I do though want to bring up this point that James Dolan gave everybody the ultimate. They gave the front office the ultimate carte blanche, right? As a matter of fact, it was so bad that one of their own had to go to Dolan about Tom Thibodeau, right? Worldwide West went to Dolan about Tibbs, or at least it's reported that's what's happened. That is what happened, right? But here's the thing: are we in too deep with CAA?
Yeah, we totally are. Let me ask you something. Since Jerry Jones came on the scene, was there ever a day where Jerry Jones apologized for his handprints all over a team that he spent his hard-earned money to put together? Did he ever apologize for mistakes that he made and over all these years? Never once. Who in Texas can make him sell his team?
Nobody.
Who in the league could push him out?
Nobody. And you know what? And here's the thing too that people forget. When Jerry Jones bought the Cowboys were awful.
Okay.
They were not America's team.
Okay.
Because at the same time, Jerry Jones was buying the Dallas Cowboys. And just think about this era. The Washington Redskins win the Super Bowl. The Redskins win the Super Bowl in their division, right? 2 years before that, the Giants won the Super Bowl in their division. This is the height of Gang Green, the Eagles defense, right? The Eagles, Buddy Ryan, Buddy Ball, and Philly, Randle Cunningham, all the video games, right? What did Dallas have? Hershey Walker and Babe Laufenberg. The Cowboys had Hershey Walker and Babe Laufenberg.
And a host of bad
35-year-old, out of shape, overpaid
Tom Landry picks, you know,
Bill Bates.
Bad, yeah, just horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. But there was never a day that you didn't know he's the boss.
Yep. Yep.
You understand? There's never going to be such a thing that you're going to hear people, they're going to be picketing Dallas Stadium or whatever. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not going to hear such nonsense.
Yeah.
His decisions are going to be his decisions because why? I own the team.
Right.
So I say this to you, Dolan. You don't need to be in bed with these people that are not. They haven't done anything for you.
What have they done, bro?
What have they done? Like I've made mention of this before. I remember I went to Vegas that first time. I was gonna go to watch the Knicks practice, Knicks Summer League. Eddie Curry was there. Eddie Curry came there without his sneakers to play in.
What athlete does that, bro? What athlete shows up without sneakers?
As if they're size 17 triple E's there just laying around for you to put on when you get there.
Yeah, I can just go get them from Foot Locker.
I'm just going to football anywhere, Ken.
Yeah.
This is what, and he was a CAA client.
Of course he was. Thank you, Leon Rose.
They've never done nothing for you. Nothing. From the days of when you used to let LeBron use MSG like it was his personal bathroom.
Yeah.
Remember all of that? Remember the Big Apple LeBron sneakers that he debuted?
Yeah.
In Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
How the league didn't hit the Knicks for tampering beyond me.
Right.
Right? Because that was a Knicks property, not Cleveland's property. A CAA client. All of these things that we've gone through with CAA over the years, good God, Mr. Dolan, be rid of them. Rid yourself of this pestilence.
Come on, bro. I mean, for once, man. Hey, yo, you remember Greg Monroe? Remember when we thought we were getting Greg Monroe and LaMarcus Aldridge? We thought we were getting Greg Monroe and then LaMarcus Aldridge that summer. And Leon Rose talked to the Knicks like, nah, take Andrew Bogianni. Andre Drummond is not built to play in New York. Take Andre Bogianni and give Toronto Landry Fields and some draft picks and Steve Novak. That was Leon Rose's doing. So if you saw number 77 jump from the 3-point line to try to dunk, you remember he tried to jump. The dude tried to dunk from the 3-point line, and not even a 6'5" guy. This is a 7-foot guy trying to dunk from the 3-point line.
He jumped, he landed, he jumped again.
Yeah. And then the second time he landed, he got hurt. Remember, he got hurt when he landed.
I think he jumped 3 times on the way to the rim.
Right. Bro, you 250 pounds. You 250 pounds, bro. Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
The ref literally let him do a triple jump in a basketball game and did not call him travel.
Right. He did the Rodney Danger for the triple Lundy. The referee didn't even blow the whistle. He didn't even blow the whistle. He just took it off and slammed it on the floor.
Oh my God.
I mean,
you can't make this thing up. Like it's well, so let me ask Knicks fans this. Or let me ask you this, Freezy. Because you're still, as you told me the other day, I'm still in this, whatever. I done gave up the road like a Boyz II Men song, right? But let me ask you this. where do you go from here with all of these picks? Where do you go?
From here? I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm glad and I think that's a Stacey Lattisaw song too. Y'all remember Stacey Lattisaw? Anybody in the chat remember Stacey Lattisaw, Johnny Gill? Where do we go from here? But I think where we go from here is let me check to see what the poll says first. So the poll says with 46 votes, that's lame, man. We got 46 votes. 46 votes. That's it. I'm not reading that. I'm not reading the poll till we get about.
Nah, that's good. Nah, that's a good. I think that's a good take, a good measure. Read it.
Nah, man. I ain't reading that. Not no.
Nah, those are 46. Those are 46 Knicks fans that thought enough of us. I think you should read it.
No, but what I will do though is what I will do though is this. What I will do though is say where do we go from here?
No.
Yeah, well, so where we should go from here is play these kids, get these vets out of here, get them out of here, and play these kids. And even though I feel some type of way about Obi, it's not fair for me not to give him a chance, right? And even though I feel some type of way with Cam and Quickly and RJ, I think it's now it's time for them to prove it. Now you got to prove why you were drafted, right? You got to play these kids and see what you got, man. Because you losing anyway. You only gonna win 37 games anyway. Why play 9 vets and 2 kids when you can play 9 kids and 1 vet, right? And still win and might win 37 games.
Because freezing, okay, I'm glad you went there. Because let's just all the way around muddle everything. Right. They're not gonna play Obi over Randle. He would be kid number 1. He's no longer a kid, being that he's his 3rd year and he's older. He's 24 years old now, or 20, going 25, whatever he is now, right?
Okay.
That would be the first part of your argument. They're not going to play Obi over Randle. Why? Because Randle has not been traded, and the coach likes Randle.
What do the people like? What do the people want?
I think the people are evenly split on Randle. I'm gonna be fair. 50-50.
50% people want Randle, 50% people want Obi.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think I'm gonna speak from the side of the people that want Obi for this one particular reason. Why did you draft him then? You see, if you're not gonna trade him,
okay, then
obviously you're gonna play him.
Okay.
Right? Didn't you just say that Knicks fans don't need options and blah 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 and all of that, whatever? You need to be focused, whatever. Okay, so here it is. We're going into his 3rd season. What are we doing with Obi Toppin? Are we playing him or are we not playing him?
Okay. Right.
See, this is the part. When I get on management freezy, I always go back to this because why? This is the wound that they can't close.
Oh, so you're saying we're gonna bleed out? Okay, all right.
You're gonna bleed out off of this right here, this decision, even before before we die the death of Donovan. This decision right here has been sitting here. You mean to tell me you would really risk going into a 3rd season with Obi and Julius unsettled? A 3rd year of this nonsense?
A 3rd year of this Obi nonsense. And not Obi the play, but the Randle again, another smart take from smart Knicks fans. Bro, y'all heard this? My man said, are we really gonna go into a 3rd season of Randle and Obi? Are we really gonna do that? Is it, you Yeah, another smart take from a passionate Knicks fan, man. Are we really going to go into year 3? And AD, listen, somebody's going to steal this. I'm telling you, somebody's going to steal what you said and do a show about it. Right? Are you really going to go into a 3rd year of Julius Randle and Obi Toppin together?
Because when we talk, Freezy, especially when there's multiple people talking on the panels and so forth, we, for some particular reason, we seem to want to talk past that.
Right.
It's like we want to hurry up and get to the next whatever. No. This still is right here. You understand what I'm saying? You remember when your mom used to tell you, no, you don't walk past, you don't left your pair of trousers right here in the middle of the living room. You done did everything else, and it's still right here. Right. When are we gonna move these trousers?
Right.
When are we going to remove this?
You trying to go answer the phone ringing. You think it's your girl, but you're gonna leave them pants in the middle of the living room.
You're gonna leave them pants in the middle of the floor. No, that's not how this works.
That's not how this works.
You're gonna go a 3rd season with Obi Toppin miserable after the coach pulls him out after lukewarm play, but kind of breaks a sweat. You pull him out, he doesn't come back for another 10 to 15 minutes. You think he's gonna be happy with that.
Right.
And you're going to do the 3rd year of this nonsense.
Right. So
how do you talk about anything else? How do we as Knicks fans talk about anything else?
How do we talk about issues being unresolved? Unresolved issues that are in plain sight. Eyesores.
Eyesores.
Right? So what's the solution for Randle and Obi?
Is that a trick question?
Yeah, I'm just asking because you said it was 50. You told me it was 50-50. Remember?
The solution is to rid these 2 players of each other.
Right, but how though? I'm saying which one goes, which one stays.
If it was me, I would trade Randle.
Okay.
I think I would trade for that. I think Randle's game, and it's again, I don't dislike Randle as a player. I just think the way how he plays, I don't want to build a team long term around that type of gameplay.
Okay.
I saw a particular play this past season. I know how somebody can say, well, can you remember one particular play? But this one particular play I remember, Philly against the Knicks I think this was the in Philly game. Okay. Philly ran a play for Embiid where they tried to give him the touch on one side of the rim, on the weak side, right? They brought it to him. The look wasn't right. He passed it out, and he kind of sheepishly went to the other side, got a pick, went to the other side, got the ball back, better position. You couldn't do nothing with him. He easily scored and won. Right? I mentioned that play as to say, you never see Randle repositioning to get the ball in an area that's other than 17 feet, because he would rather play face up than back to basket.
Okay. Maybe I disagree with that, bro. I think Tom Thibodeau made him do that.
Whoever. However, if it's Tiggs or him, however.
Because you remember, so because Randle, first of all, Randle's not gonna win. Randle's not gonna win in this debate. Randle is always gonna lose, right? Whenever we bring up his name, he's always gonna lose. But if you remember, right? Randle's first year here, Randle was baseline Randle. baseline Randle was the thing. But the thing about him being baseline Randle was he would turn the ball over when he spent towards the basket. You remember that? Dubious handle? No handle Randle?
Bull in China shop Randle.
Yeah. And so so the next year they moved him out of the post and put him at the top of the key in ISO situations. So he went from post up Randle, where he could work, into ISO Randle, and that wound up working for a season, even though he turned the ball over, but not as much as what people think. People were like, Randle's always turning the ball over. Randle turned the ball over at a lower rate than Chris Webber. I put it on the screen several times. Every time I put it on the screen, Knicks fans are like, oh man, that's Chris Webber. You can't ever say no. If you say Randle's a turnover machine, and I compare them to an all-time great with single season numbers and career numbers, and they're similar, but you say Chris Webber is a good player, then you got to give Randle credit for that All-Star season, right? You got to give Randle credit for the All-Star season. And then people will say, well, Chris Webber did it every year, but Chris Webber also did it with a point guard named Tim Hardaway, a small forward named Chris Mullin, a point guard named Doug Christie, a small forward named Peja Stojakovic, a center named Vlade Divac, right? And when he got away from them, when Chris Webber was in Detroit, Chris Webber's numbers were terrible. Chris Webber's numbers were worse than Julius Randle, right? And so while I'm
be fair though, Freezy. Remember, microfracture Chris Webber is not the same as pre-microfracture Chris Webber.
What about Philly? What about Philly Chris Webber? What about Philly Chris Webber?
Philly Chris Webber
with Jim Jackson.
Philly Chris Webber with AI and Jackson. That's post microfracture surgery. That's when he rebuilt his game. So he's a little. I mean, I'm not saying you wrong. I'm just saying he was two different players because he could no longer jump anymore. He could no longer do those things athletically as he did, pre-surgery.
Okay. All right. So there's nothing to be said about this dude playing with Mike Bibby and Tim Hardaway Jr.
There's a lot to be said. There's a lot to be said.
And Latrell Sprewell.
Yeah, but you're gonna play better with better players, Freezy. That's not.
That's my point about. That's my point about Randle. You're gonna play better with better players, right?
Yes.
That's my point about Randle.
Yes.
That's all I'm getting at with Randle, right? Is players play better with better players. That's basically all I'm getting at right there. That's the whole point of the thing. Here's the other thing too, and while I don't want this to be an indictment on Julius Randle, because no matter what conversation we talk about, because we started the conversation talking about the CAA mafia, and see how all of a sudden we got to Julius Randle, like all roads of blame lead to Julius Randle.
But we haven't put any blame on Julius. We haven't said anything blameworthy on Julius here tonight. We were just talking about his game and how we saw his game as far as building, something sustainable going forward.
Okay. Yeah. No doubt. So, but what I'm saying is this: if the Obi thing and the Randle thing is a real thing that shouldn't go on for 3 years, then we need to make a move right away. And what happened is I heard numerous reports say the Knicks front office did not go on vacation because they were staying put to push through the Donovan Mitchell trade, right? So they didn't go on vacation. They didn't get Donovan Mitchell. They didn't focus their entire offseason on developing the kids because it was said that the whole front office was focused on getting the Donovan Mitchell trade done, right? So that means there was no time left on developing these kids. So now there is an entire summer where these kids was not the main focus and priority of the organization. Nor was there a focus on fixing the Obi and Julius Randle the economy at power forward. Right? So now they didn't go on vacation. Now they have to go on vacation at some point. They're probably on vacation right now. Right? Now the kids didn't get all the attention that they deserve, all the attention that they deserve. Right? They're gonna be behind. And people are gonna be mad that RJ Barrett gonna come back, look just like he did last year. People are gonna be mad. Don't be mad. UPS is hiring. That's the line from my man Big U, for those that don't remember. You're mad because of my style you're admiring. Don't be mad. UPS is hiring. Shout out to the notorious B.I.G. Brooklyn's fine.
Absolutely.
Right. But here's the thing. The kids should have been the focus this entire summer. The kids should have been the focus the entire summer. Get them better. You're not getting a star. We already know that. AD, we've been Knicks fans for umpteen million thousand years, right? And we've known even since the days of Willis Reed, we know a star wasn't coming here, right? When Bernard King got here, he was not a star. He was a scoring machine that became a star in New York, right? A talented guy showcased his skills at the highest level and on the biggest stage. He found stardom here, but he was not a star before he got here, because if not, we wouldn't have been able to trade for him.
No. I mean, it just goes back to the people that you put in place to make decisions. You understand what I'm saying? The moment you have a player like, okay, let's use Ewing, let's use Bernard King, let's use whoever was the dynamic player within our organization. The moment they got here, you were on the clock to do something with them.
Right.
See what I'm saying? You're on the clock. You don't get a grace period because now you find something, you get to sit around and work it out for a couple of years. No, you don't get that. Because what happens is then the bad of the Carmelo Anthony then happens. Because now then you waste the prime. You see, you waste the prime years and you've done nothing with it. You get a player like that, no one should feel bad for you. You know what? You need to find the pieces around it. You need to find the pieces around these players. See what I'm saying?
How?
You know,
how?
It's a combination of things. The bad boy Pistons, they didn't draft all of those guys.
No, they didn't.
You see what I'm saying? You're
talking about the Pistons core pieces like Chuck Nevin.
Yeah, but you need people besides the coach, right? You need people who are spearheading your organizational deals and so forth that's respected, that knows how to close. How do you go back to Dolan, right? From your argument, you said a while ago that nobody went on break, everybody had to work, whatever. You've been working this Donovan Mitchell angle now for months. How do you go back to him with nothing to show for
it? That's what I'm saying. It's CAA. They're gonna go back to him and say, "Hey, boss, we tried. So, how you like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander?" And Dolan's gonna be like, "Wait a minute. So you told me Donovan Mitchell, you told me Bradley Beal, you told me Damian Lillard, you told me Chris Paul, right? You told me all these players, and 2+ years." We have none, and now you want to start all over again? Start all over again with another pursuit of another player? Right?
You can't make that up, Freezy. You see, Knicks fans want to gloss over the fact that these things happened on his watch. Okay. You want to give Randle credit for what he did in a pandemic year? Fine, no problem. LeBron is not giving back his championship. Okay. You had a chance to see him in the playoffs, and he had the worst numbers of any forward in the modern game. Okay? If that doesn't make you go, okay, we still have him for another year. Let's see what it's like. We don't have to lock him up to an extension right now. We really don't. Okay? We have him for another year. The Knicks play it the other way. The Knicks go out, and not only do they lock him up, they go out and give Christmas gifts to everybody off of a one playoff win. And then on top of the Christmas gifts, they say, you know what, Mr. Fournier, you're the missing piece to this. And by the way, we're going to bring Kemba Walker with you, so you won't be lonely. You'll have a teammate in your.
Yeah, I don't know. Man.
And every single one of you got multi-year deals.
But why can't this front office just embrace playing these kids, bro? Because you know Fournier is not the answer. You know Kemba wasn't the answer. We know that. We know Noel ain't the answer. We know Burks ain't the answer. We know Rose ain't the answer, right? But we believe that these kids might be a part of the solution going forward. Why can't this front office embrace playing them?
I mean, would you? Here's the thing, Freezy. Here's part of the thing. If you were all in to trade for Donovan, you were not all in on your kids, including RJ.
Including Obi, including quickly who you picked.
Everybody, including RJ. From all that we heard, RJ was well part of this deal. Okay? So you weren't thinking about no kid. The only kids you were thinking about are the ones that they probably didn't mention. Sims, Cam, maybe. Everybody else was up for discussion. So how could you be thinking about the kids? You weren't.
Right.
And as well, you know what? You have a coach who doesn't want all of these kids. He wants more of a veteran team. Whether you like him or not, he's your coach.
Right.
Somewhere after he found out that Donovan Mitchell did not go through, I guarantee you that man caught an ulcer pain.
Right.
He can't be happy.
Right.
So, again, back to our original question. Where do we go, Freezy? Where do we go?
Play the kids.
Easy to say, play the kids. All right, so we're gonna play the kids. So we're gonna play the kids, and we're gonna play the kids, and we're gonna sit on 11 draft picks, and then we're gonna wait on the next disgruntled star, and we're gonna start this all over again. And we're gonna
we're not gonna do the disgruntled star thing no more. How you fix the Knicks? How you fix the Knicks is draft your own star.
Okay.
So AD, let me add, I'm gonna ask a rhetorical question. I don't want your answer. This is just rhetoric, okay? This is just rhetoric.
Okay.
The Knicks made the NBA Finals in 1994 and 1999 with members of those teams. One was the centerpiece in a regular 82-game season. The centerpiece of those championship runs from 92 to 96 were centered around a player that you drafted. Right? I don't count the 99 thing. I count the 99 championship run as an anomaly because it was a strike-shortened season. There were injuries all around the league, including the Knicks. Everybody dudes were coming back. The season was weird. The Knicks had a lot of, it was like watching a Disney movie. Like a 6'5" power forward with a back injury hit a 3 for a 4-point play, and he hit the free throw, and it was just too much. A dude hits a runner off the front of the rim. It bounces around like all dramatic, like a box office movie, and it goes in. You knock off like the 1 seed or whatever it is, and all these things happened in this miracle season. So I'm glad it happened. I view that season as the luckiest playoff run, right? But in all the other playoff runs, 73, 71, 70, 69, all those championship runs happened when you drafted your own kids. Now, did you trade for pieces during that? Yeah. But the core was already in place. You just need icing on the cake. You needed a Dave DeBusschere, right? You needed a power forward that can dribble, pass, and shoot. That's what Dave DeBusschere was. People just remember him for elbows because he would elbow the snot out of you, right? But he could dribble, pass, and shoot. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that he would get in front of you like JoJo White and do the 2K rock, but he was okay. For those that don't know, he was a Christian Laettner type player without all the offense, right? He was that type. The dribble, pass, and shoot, could do multiple things on the offensive side of the floor, defensive side of the floor, and he was clutch. And for people that I'm talking about Christian Laettner in college. I'm not talking about Christian Laettner in the pros. Christian Laettner in college could dribble, pass, and shoot, had the clutch gene, hit all the big shots. That was Dave DeBusschere. Dave DeBusschere could do all these things to keep you in the game, and he was unselfish, right? And by the time, and people forget how great an athlete he was. The dude pitched for the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Come on. And so, so how do we get back to that? How do we get back to making runs at the championship? Do it the way we've been successful at doing stuff, right? Draft you 2 or 3 franchise players all at once. They don't have to be Hall of Famers. They don't have to be. Just draft you 3 guys that are going to be invested in the team, in the city, right? Draft you 3 guys, right? And then bring in guys off the scrap heap, right? Bring in some random dogs off the body pile. Bring in you a Starks, bring in you a Mason, right? Bring in dudes that done got cut 9 times by other teams. Dudes that's desperate, hungry. Dan there will cut your throat out to stay in the league. You got to bring in 2 or 3 of those guys. I think we got one right now in Fahrenheit, right? And once you get all those guys gelling, bring in a finishing piece. Once those guys are gelling, right? Once you've got everything that you can get out of those guys, where you know that these guys have reached their ceiling, then bring in a guy to get them over the hump. But don't bring in the Sherpa. Don't bring in the Sherpa until you found the mountain, right? You got to get on the base of the mountain. You got to set up base camp. You got to find your objective, all that stuff. Then you get a Sherpa. You don't get a Sherpa to take you around the mall. You can get around the mall by yourself. You don't need no damn Sherpa. You know what I'm saying? You don't need nobody to show you how to do stuff, and when you already know how to do it, right? Bring that guy in last. Bring in your Earl Monroe when you know that you can't get over the hump. Bring in your Dave DeBusschere after you know you can't get over it. Because the Knicks brought in Dave DeBusschere when they knew they couldn't get past the Celtics. When the Knicks were better than the Celtics but couldn't beat them. And so for y'all that don't understand what I'm talking about, the Knicks could have won a championship in 68. They could have won it in 69. They won it in 70. They could have won it in 71, but they had injuries. Listen, the injury bug can take a hold of any team. You can't blame injuries on the players. Injuries happen. Because injuries also happen to the Bucks that year too. The Bucks could have been just as good as but anyway, what I'm getting at is the Knicks could have won it 68, 69, 70, 71, 72. The 72 Lakers might be the greatest team to ever play. So I don't even want to put them in the conversation. 72, we wouldn't have won it. Even if we would have went to the finals, we'd have got swept. That's how good they were. Oh, I think we did go to the finals. AD, we did go to the finals in 72, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think we did go in 72, and the Lakers beat us.
That's the first year with Pearl.
Right. And so, but 73, we won it. 74, injury set in, and we were getting old. 75, we were old. 76, we were old. Right.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Freezy. Okay, and you didn't ask me a question, so therefore I'm not giving you an answer. Here's to a question, but I'm giving you an answer as far as where I think you have some holes in this thing, okay. Right? Because drafting is not a science, you know. It's a feel. It's almost like it's almost like the way how we describe the soul.
Right.
No one person can say this is what the soul is, right? But it's that kind of abstract kind of feeling per se that your leadership is looking for, right? Like I can look at players and I can tell you what kind of players you jury picks just by the guys that I would see them lined up. Outside of the point guard, everybody's long, athletic.
He didn't draft him. He was an undrafted free agent.
Right. What I'm saying is, outside of him, look at the people that he's drafted from his Denver days, especially into the kind of athleticism, the kind of guys that he looks. You can pick them out. You understand what I'm saying? It is not an easy science. You can go years. I was watching the other day, I'm watching a guy that we thought at one point was going to be that dynamic guard, Gerald Wilkins, right?
Oh, God.
So I'm watching him in game 5 of the series against Detroit, where we finally send Detroit home, right? The man shoots, I think, it was 2 for 13 or some crap like that. In game 5, it was some ridiculous. This man could, since the time we drafted him, I remember this man doing all types of shooting drills, sitting in chairs, laying down, shooting the ball, changing his arc on the wrist, anything you want to call it. Gerald Wilkins tried it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're going to get picks like that. It's no sure science.
I know, man.
See what I'm saying? You're going to get a Tim Hardaway Jr. Right? We talk about picks, but let Tim Hardaway Jr.'s name come up and all of a sudden the fan base goes for the pitchforks. Because why? He's something that they just never liked. For me, I think it's his bloodline. So the mere fact that Tim Hardaway Sr. is his father, they never liked it. They never liked the idea of him being in the Knicks uniform. You want to be honest or not? Okay, you can be honest, but it is what it is.
I knew where you were going, man, with Gerald Wilkins, man. And ironically, there was a year that he fell on his wrist. He thought it was broken. It wasn't. He came back with it wrapped up, and he shot better.
I remember that.
I think that was 1988. I think it was 1980. I think whenever Mark Jackson was young, it was like Mark Jackson was young.
I remember that. Yeah.
This dude had like this thing on his arm, and he shot the ball better. And he's like, oh my God, man. Oh my God. And then not only did he shoot better, it was like contagion. He shot better. Kenny Walker. You remember when Kenny Walker wore number 34?
Yes. Oh my God.
Why did Kenny Walker wear a big man number?
Because Kenny Walker was supposed to be a big
Oh my God, bro. I'm legit about to throw up in my mouth.
I think I think you've managed to ease these last couple of days of my Nick wounds and so forth. I'm a real wounded soldier right now.
Me too.
You know what I mean? Like I'm on the field of battle. I'm at the point where I don't want anyone to pick me up. I just want to die right there.
Just Captain Dan.
That's just it. Because I just don't understand.
Oh, not Captain Dan. I'm sorry, Lieutenant Dan. Lieutenant Dan. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Lieutenant Dan. Yeah. I'm Lieutenant Dan's. I want to be left out there in the field of battle with my predecessors who were proud Knick fans before us. For those who are not here to see what's being fed us.
Right.
Yeah, that's just how I feel.
Man.
Because somebody tell me what's the next step. You don't know. Oh, okay, we're gonna watch the kids. Okay, well, let's watch the kids.
And so for the record, man, Gerald Wilkins wasn't a bad player, y'all. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what AD is saying either.
I'm not saying he's a bad player, but he was just one of those picks that, you could have did better around Ewing.
Yeah, he was something, but he wasn't what we needed.
He wasn't. I remember when Cleveland signed him away from the Knicks that offseason, and they were calling him because, mind you, I know Knicks fans, please, and basketball fans out there, don't throw up in your mouth when I say this, but Cleveland signed him away from the Knicks because he had good defensive share numbers against Michael Jordan.
Yep.
They were almost calling him, wait for it, the Jordan stopper.
Yes.
Right? Because Michael Jordan had a couple of hangover nights that he happened to run it against the Knicks and Joe Wilkins, and he climbed a couple. And Joe happened to be the closest person on the court. They were like, oh, defensive win share right there. Gerald, that's yours.
That's yours. Yeah.
Gerald, that's yours. But Mike climbed that one right there. Close person. Gerald, okay, that's yours. That's defensive win share right there. Gerald Wilkins. And Cleveland gave him a big deal.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Cleveland but all Cleveland did was really and truly was to just get him out of the way of John Starks. Because remember, when he was here that season, Starks was the backup. Wilkins was the shooting guard.
Yeah, Wilkins was the starter. And by the time Wilkins was leaving, Starks was playing more minutes anyway. Wilkins was like the starter and title, basically.
Yes,
because Starks was coming in as the backup shooting guard and point guard. Starks is a combo guard, basically. One of the reasons why it was easier to part with Mark Jackson, because at the end of the day, you can bring in a vet, and Starks would be that athletic energy guy behind Mo Cheeks, behind Doc Rivers, behind Derek Harper. You know what I'm saying? And not behind, but combined with, however you want to say it. You know what I'm saying? Because there were stretches in the 90s when you watched the Knicks offense, it was all John Starks running offense. It wasn't Doc Rivers or Mo Cheeks or Derek Harper. It was a tandem. But anyway.
Here's the thing with that. Just to touch on it just a little bit. When they moved Mark in that centerpiece of the Charles Smith trade, they thought that they were getting the kind of youthful offensive force that Ewing needed.
Right.
And they could piece together the point guard situation.
Yeah.
I understood it at the time because I can't, and a lot of Knicks fans who want to run from this truth, Charles Smith with the Lakers in the West was
the Clippers.
With the Clippers over in the West was a monster.
He was.
He
could do a lot of stuff.
He could do a lot of things. Whether they want to, tell the truth or not, you know, at that time, he could do a lot of things. You know, he really could have. So, you know, so I understood it, but I didn't understood it because it meant this kid was gonna have to play out of position. So that's all I wanted to really say on that, which was Charleston.
Right. So I would say this to that. I would say this to that, right? I would say that ultimately what you want to do with this team, man, is play these kids. Try to get you a young core like the Orlando Magic had back in the day. I think that's the perfect blueprint, right?
Let me ask you something.
Okay.
Let me ask you something really quickly, right? You think Miami was wrong for bringing in Jimmy Butler with their young core?
No, of course not.
Okay. So that's what I'm talking about, Freezy. When I'm talking about, I think we're saying the same thing because we can speak to evidence. Look what Jimmy Butler has done for Miami's young core. That's what I'm talking about. If you had Jimmy Butler here dragging this, if you had Jimmy Butler in place of Julius Randle, I would sleep better at night because he's gonna drag these young core, and yeah, that's different.
Right. So my takeaway is trade Julius Randle.
For this team, I don't think he's the leader for this team.
I don't think that. Yeah. I don't think so either. I don't think Randle.
I don't think he's the leader for this team, and he showed it in ways last year that just didn't make any sense. It was like, dude, who are you envious of?
Yeah.
You just got the Knicks just gave you $117 million. Who are you envious of?
Yeah.
You the guy. You second team All NBA. You the guy.
Yeah.
No one has had that distinction since Melo. You the guy.
Yeah.
What you mad about?
Yeah. Man, I heard some crazy things about Melo, bro, over the weekend. I didn't know Melo, the reason why Melo and Lala broke up was because he had a set of twins with a girl.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No. I thought it was a baby. I thought it was a baby. I didn't know it was twins. Melo, come on.
I'm about to go Melo.
Melo, come on, man. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was twins. I thought it was a baby. And then while they were like trying to patch it up, he's like, "Yo, my bad." He had a baby with a teacher.
I mean, Freezy.
So you got three arm babies. You got three arm babies at one time, and then you asking Lala, "Baby, please stay." You all on social media.
What do you want? But what do you want from a man that has money and access?
That has everything. A man that has everything.
Money and access. People are sitting right here looking at Nick Cannon like, Nick Cannon crazy. No. Nick Cannon has free time, money, and women who would gladly have his baby.
Bro, for that reason, I can't Melo. The Melo thing is over for me.
What do you do, Freezy? What you know? We've talked. You've told me you know people with money. You know what people with money do? People with money are bored.
Huh?
You have to constantly find stimulation for yourself.
Bro. Nah, bro.
I get it. No.
And listen, and Melo ain't macho. Melo can live his life 4 times and not be as macho as me. Okay? Melo, if you watching, you can go lift weights for the next 50 years and live your life 8 times back to back, and you still ain't more macho than me. But bro, come on. Sometimes you gotta draw a line somewhere.
What if he came out wearing a suit like Mr. Furley? Is he more macho than you?
maybe if he got the top collar unbuttoned. If he got the top collar unbuttoned like that, then maybe, right? But bro, come on, bro. You can't be like doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies and these things talking about you trying to be a role model to the kids, and then your private life is a mess.
Is it a mess though? But is it a mess though? Is it a mess?
It is a mess.
It's only a mess for those who are viewing it from the outside who are going, I wouldn't have done that. It's easy for you to say.
Yeah. I mean,
it's easy. Dude, we don't live in bubbles.
No,
you know what I mean? We don't live in bubbles. We don't live in, I'm not even gonna touch that. But you expect
Mellow would touch it.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying that I would. But I'm saying though is, well, how do you're gonna put yourself in a bubble and isolate yourself away from what every tempting situation that may come your way? It's impossible.
Nah, man. I just
impossible. Utterly impossible.
I understand where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from, but I'm just saying, if you're one thing, be that. If you're something else, be that. But don't claim to be one thing while you're doing something else.
What if he wasn't married? Does it make a difference?
Yes, it does. It makes a huge difference.
It makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
So he could live his life, do all he wanted to do, have Lala as his girlfriend, not marry her, and still live his life, and it would be okay.
Right. It's the difference between it's like Roger Staubach and Joe Namath, right? It's the thing with Roger Staubach. Roger Staubach stayed with one girl and she was fine to Roger Staubach wife back in the way. But Captain America just did his thing with one woman. With Joe Namath was like Joe Namath wouldn't even have a girlfriend. Joe Namath wouldn't even commit to a girlfriend. Nah, I'm a bachelor, baby. You know what I'm saying?
The man said, I like my Remy red and my women blonde. Okay? Finish. You already know what it is.
Yeah. But anyway, I said that to say the thing about Melo is I'll pass on Melo, bro. I don't want to have. I'm passing on Melo. I'm strictly going out here playing these kids.
No, I get it. I'm not paying. No. Oh my God, I don't want no parts of Carmelo Anthony.
No,
the return.
I don't want Melo here.
No. Oh, I thought you meant. I thought we were talking about whatever. Oh, you mean the return of Melo back
to the return of Melo. No. Yeah, that's what I've been talking about the whole time. I don't want that cat. We don't need that distraction around these young fellows. These young fellows already have enough distractions as it is.
Yeah.
Let's see what Grimes can do, man. How about no distractions? They kept Grimes out the deal. Let's see what Grimes can do. Right? I'm on this thing. I'm trying to get on this thing where I want to support the front office in their direction. My frustration is that I can't figure out what direction they're going. And
you want to support the front office and their direction. Okay, I got it.
Right, but my frustration is, who knows what the direction is? I played something the other day. Leon Rose interview with Mike Breen, and Leon Rose double talked and waffled in the same. He said direction is and has always been make the playoffs, right? And at the end of the thing, he was like, the priority is developing the kids. What? What did you say, Leon Rose? You just said at the very I couldn't play, I can't play the whole YouTube clip all the way through. Right? Because it's somebody else's property. You know what I'm saying? You can't. But he said the direction is and has always been make the playoffs. That's the direction for this team. Right? And he's disappointed, right? And then at the end, he was like, nah, man, the priority is develop the kids. Wait a minute. How is a priority develop the kids when you play Alec Burks 28 minutes a game and you play for Evan Fournier 27 minutes a game, that's 55 minutes. That's 55 minutes. He was playing Derrick Rose 21 minutes.
Yeah. He has no direction. They have no direction. They're in a state right now. They are so scared of when it's media day. Right now, they are preparing for media day because they don't want to answer the Brunson questions. They don't want to answer all those, those questions that would have been asked during Brunson's introduction, and they definitely don't want to talk about Spider and what happened. And their best bet, what's going to save them is that they can say we can't comment on another team that's not our property.
Yeah,
that's it. But right now, they are so scared of when media day is happening because they know they blew it. They know they blew it. They thought they were gonna roll in a new Hollywood backcourt,
Yeah.
And no, you didn't get it done. You just didn't get it done. And once again, you failed Knicks fan. That's just my thing. My overall theme is we just never get something that we just feel like, wow, we got this. Right. At some point in time, something is gonna go wrong with it. And I hate feeling that way. It's like when KP got hurt and they brought Perry in, and they brought Perry in first, then the both of them hired Fizdale. And in all that time when they were doing the interviewing process, neither Mills nor Perry went to go see KP.
Yeah.
Right? So we're talking about a good 5-6 months. The first person that went to go see him was Fizdale.
Okay.
So organizationally, here is your crown jewel that has left the country under a cloud of circumstances and injury, and you wait for the new coach to sign on before someone goes to see how's he doing, what's his rehab like. Let me go talk to his brother. We understand he's a pain in the ass or whatever. But this is what an organization should do. That's what leadership does, right?
Right.
You leave it for Fizdale to do, and then at some point in time you trade him from up under Fizdale, and away we go.
Right. Right. And now, Dwayne Wade, Danny Ainge, and David Fizdale, all enemies of the Knicks, are working for the same organization. And you think you're just gonna waltz in there and take their best player? Thank you, David Fizdale. David Fizdale is still sticking it to us.
Sometimes, Freezy, you make a deal and then you walk away from it because it's not going to bear fruition within the next couple of days.
Right.
You've got to water it. When you put seeds in the ground, it don't bear fruit the next day. You have to water it. You got to take care of it. You got to bring this up. So in a year or two, you say, oh, remember that trade that the Knicks did with whatever for whoever. You can't even remember those picks. Because more times than not, that's what happens. You don't remember these picks. But people remember our picks. Oh, they wanted the Knicks picks because remember they got Murray and this one and that one, and basketball has only been happening for 1,000 years. Yes, they messed up on a couple of picks. So what? You can point that out. You know why? Because we're low-hanging fruit. And why we're low-hanging fruit? Because we keep hiring midget farmers that can't reach the fruit.
Man, that can't reach the fruit.
We low-hanging fruit with midget farmers trying to take care of the fruit. Trying to take care of things out here. Look, Freezy, you're not going to get me to that place again. I've resigned myself to, the Knicks are not going to get me there anymore. So please don't get me started again. Don't get me. You got me out here. Little people all over the world going to be looking for me. Little people, so don't get me there again.
You're going to be mad. Tearing your knees up. Yeah. No, I'm just joking. I just mess around.
Coming out of big hats like I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Yeah, man. All I want to do, and to you and to the chat, man, all I want to do is make my funk the P-funk. I want to get funked up. That's all I want. All I want to do is get back to the root cause of, realize what the main issue is and address it. That's all I want to do. All I want to do is make my funk the P-funk. I want to get funk. I just want to get back to the root cause of something. On
that note, please, because I gotta run. But make that note your P-funk and get funked up, because it's a long road. It's a long road to anything that looks like we can hold on to.
Yeah, hey man, I'm gonna use this restroom, and I'm gonna come right back. I'm gonna open up the chat, that have people come in, so that we can rock. AB, as usual, it's been a pleasure, y'all. And we going on. We got another half of the show to do, and we gonna rock. Get that energy up. I'll be right back, y'all.
I'll be listening. All right.
Bim! And he's back. Thank y'all for hanging out with me for a few minutes, man. If you haven't done so, man, subscribe to the channel, smash the like button. Smash the like button, man. We have links to the merch store we have the link to the merch store. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. I'm just gonna see if I can find it real quick. The link to the merch store is somewhere. Blorange Tears. There we go. All right. So let me put I'm gonna share one of these. I'm gonna share something on the screen. The men's premium Blorange Tears shirt. That is fire, by the way. I'm gonna see what it looks like in a different color. Oh, these are fire. Oh, that is so beautiful. That right there is so beautiful. Right? Ain't nobody came to see you. I know y'all probably thinking that about me. Why y'all thinking? Why y'all getting that shirt talking about Uncle Freezy, man? Ain't nobody came to see Uncle Freezy. Yo, salute to the chat. Salute to the chat. What's good, y'all? All right. Y'all see it there. Y'all see all the colors and all that stuff. I think there is another one in here I wanted to look at. Let me go back up here to the top and just go to where is it? Accessories. Where's the caps and hats at? The caps and hats. I'm gonna show y'all one that I like. There is one that I really like. There it is. Oh, this is so fire. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see the Normandy and Weston? The Normandy and Weston bucket cap? That's fire, bro. Around here, between Normandy and Weston, we call this hey, y'all get it. Y'all get it. Y'all get it. Y'all get it. Around here, between Normandy and Weston. Yo, that joint is fire, bro. Fire. Fire. This is like one of them joints you can wear while you out doing recreational stuff, whatever your recreational thing is. Right? All right. So I'm going to throw the link in the chat for those that just want to jump on and rock for a few minutes, man. You know what I'm saying? Those that want to rock. All right, so there's a link in the chat. Thanks to Anthony D for hanging out with me for a few minutes. So here's the thing, man. Can James Dolan afford to piss off CAA? That's ultimately what we wanted to talk about first. Can James Dolan afford to piss off CAA? Right? If James Dolan gets mad that CAA is not productive and he fires them, and are there long-term repercussions? Right? Are there long-term repercussions? Yeah, my man is in the building. Coach, what's good?
Yo, 20 twin.
Wow. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
What's
Smoke was
good,
good.
Uncle Freeze? How you doing, my dude?
It was good, man. You looking good, man. You hit the number or something?
Nah, man, I just came back. You know, holiday vacation, man. I just came back from vacation, you know?
Them.
Went,
No doubt, man.
went to Vegas for the weekend and stuff. Just came back. Just touched down.
All that bread. Spent all that bread out there in Vegas, man. Having a good
Yeah,
time.
way too much, man. I damn near went broke, but not quite.
But not quite. He's like, yo, how I'm going to make these $20
Gotta set them limits.
Friday? Yeah, man. Make this $20 stretch till Friday, bro. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. How you feeling, bro?
I'm pretty good, to be honest, 100. I appreciate you asking.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Coach, I don't appreciate y'all how y'all did me last night in the football league, but that's a conversation for another day.
What do you mean? You did yourself.
You know, because you know, I get super excited. I get you know, I'm very passionate about this. So instead of getting to useless arguments with people, sometimes I just step back and just let people talk their nonsense. You know?
Yeah, man. I got a passionate argument that I want to get into with you.
Okay.
I want to get into. Since y'all here, I want to get into training camp battles. Because training camp is and today is
I'm outside.
Today is the 5th. So training camp is in like what, 14 days? 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Wow. What training camp battle are y'all excited to look at? To get the results of? Chad, what training camp battle? Yeah.
I want to see what I'm actually curious to see what Cam role is going to be. If we're going to focus on the team that we have now, I want to see what Fournier going to do and Cam, you know, even though my eyes, I'm going to keep it super brief. Like, my eyes is on RJ. If he don't make All-Star at least, I'm going to have a problem. That's the minimum. That's my minimum expectation is All-Star. Period.
I agree.
Yeah,
person I'm looking at, not even just from training camp, the whole season, he has the biggest target on his back because he has been praised the most. So he has the biggest target on his back in my eyes, at least.
Wow. The battle I'm looking forward to is that three-way battle of Cam, Grimes, and Fournier.
Yes, exactly.
I almost think IQ and Grimes might be fighting for who gets the most minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like sliding in that 2 spot sometimes.
I want to see.
Yeah, because even if we were, and I don't mean to cut you off, Freeze, sorry. Even if, because at this point, right, we got to stop speculating about people that's on other teams. We got to focus in-house and focus on what we got, right? So if we there at that particular point where we are right now, then, yo, Grimes got to show out, right? All the people that stopped us from moving, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna just call it like I see it. All the dudes that held up us moving forward and getting the superstar to link with our other star, they gotta show up. And if they don't show up, we gotta hold accountable, not make not make excuses for why they can't do what we thought they were gonna do. You know what I mean?
Right. Bro, I think you're right. I said that.
What's up, doggy?
I said that about a week ago that we should be thankful for what we got. Just be thankful for what we got, man. Go into camp, play these kids, man. Let these kids battle it out, man. What are we doing? Why we always gotta chase somebody else's best player, bro? Why can't we just get our own guy and develop our own guy? And if he's not it, then find him.
I agree with that.
Right. Oh, yes, he is. What you think, Coach?
I mean,
it would turn out. You know what I mean? I've heard you make the argument that we played the kid.
The last part of your point broke up a little bit. Like you dropped out. We didn't hear that last part.
Yeah. Can you hear us?
I'm walking, so my internet might cut out. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Okay.
But no, I mean, I honestly, Freezy, like this is still a kind of kickback to that same question I asked a couple nights ago to the panel. I mean, I'm okay with moving on and just dealing with what we got and rocking with it. But it can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out, though. It's got to be all in with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because if it's not, then there's always going to be those questions. Like, oh, if we only just really committed to it all the way, you know.
Don't that frustrate you, man?
Yeah, it does. The what ifs, you know.
But I kind of feel like, and not to cut you off, I kind of feel like dudes keep saying play the kids, right? But they don't want us to play the kids in the best situation. So they just want us to play the kids whether we win or we lose. You know what I mean? And all right, I get we got a couple of veterans. They act like our team is veteran filled. We got like 3-4 veterans on the whole squad. We a young team, so ultimately we have to play the kids.
Okay. Right. But the thing is though, I think you're missing my point on this though. Playing a kid, giving the kids minutes is one thing, right? Having them have a defined role is something else, right? That's what I'm saying. Give you an example. Or the kid, even if you play the kids 25 minutes a game a piece, when the game gets to 4 minutes left to go in the game, are these kids playing? I would trade 10 minutes of real game time for 4 minutes of closing out a game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you want to see these kids
quality minutes, quality time.
Yeah, you want to see these kids in high leverage situations. You don't want to just see them play in the second quarter, beginning of the third quarter, and then when at the end of the game, when the game is on the line, you out there watching Derrick Rose, Evan Fournier, and a bunch of veterans. You like, well, what's the point?
No, but what if the game, because the younger dudes is not capable of doing that? I'm just saying. I'm playing devil's advocate.
But okay. I see that devil's advocate, right? I see that devil's advocate, and I'll offer you angelic testimony. Here it is. What you want to do, win or lose, is see these kids in those high leverage moments. Because ultimately, if you put them veterans in that high leverage moment and they lose, what have you really won? The kids didn't experience it. The team lost anyway, right? Say you put those veterans in those high leverage moments and they win, right? The veterans win the game for the kids. What have the kids gained? The kids have gained nothing, because if you're gonna finish the season with 37 wins, wouldn't it be better to develop these kids as opposed to developing the veterans? Coach, you look like you losing weight in the face, bro. She's stressing you out?
No, the Knicks are stressing me out, bro.
Okay. Right. Hey, chat. Does anybody is there anybody in the chat that's on my side that kind of agree with what I'm saying? Because I don't understand why we would play all these veterans and knowing that the kids are the future, not these veterans. You don't draft veterans out of the NBA draft. You know what I'm saying? Those dudes been around for 10 years already. You know what I'm saying? You get kids out the draft and you try to develop and polish them because you want them to be the future. You got to find some players on a cheap scale. The cheapest way to find players is the NBA draft, right? Think about this. Even if you get the best guy out of the NBA, even if you have the number one pick out of the NBA draft, right? He's only gonna make $11 million. But if you trade for the best player in the NBA, that player is gonna make $60 million. Right? You see what I'm getting at? Like why go? Because even if you go for a lower tier all-star like Chris Middleton, that's still like $35 million. The best player out of the NBA draft is only 11. And that player is young. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not trying to say that you go out there with all 19-year-olds. No team does that. What I'm saying is if you're gonna have a veteran that's gonna play, just have a unit out there with 4 kids and 1 vet. Right? Somebody that's been you rarely, I won't say ever, but that you rarely have kids, you rarely have lineups out there that, is this my man?
Let me ask you a question real quick, Freezy. Is that lineup that you're talking about where we play the kid, is that about experience or winning that we trying to gain?
All right, I got you. Let me do this real quick. I'm gonna answer that. Let me do this.
Let's get it. Y'all be spitting with your flows, I'm just podcasting. That's right. On the air every day, I'm just podcasting. What? You don't know what that mean when I say I'm podcasting. I'm broadcasting these flows with the podcasting. Every day of my life, I'm just podcasting. Right. Share my dreams with you, mean I'm podcasting. What? You can see my vision through the podcasting. Yeah. But don't forget J Boogie when I'm broadcasting. What? I'm podcasting, he's podcasting. What? I've been spitting this venom since karate flicks. when Mr. Sims was sharing nothing but the Knicks. I guess you know by now, I seen some tough years. Now I know the reason why Freezy got them Blorange Tears.
Yeah, what's up, boss?
Good evening, my brother. How are you doing on this Labor holiday, man? The end of it on a Monday was good, man. How y'all doing?
Sir.
Hey, Boogie.
Yo, what's good, my brother? My brother. I see it. I get it. Yo,
Pound it.
shout out to the greatest family it is in the world. That's you in the chats, man. How y'all doing? Hope everybody healthy and safe.
For sure.
Just want to come up here and rock with y'all. I was watching the football game. I'm like, hey, the guy is on.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Coach, what's happening, Coach? Put me in the game. I can score.
I know, man.
He's too tired from mugging us at the fantasy draft last night. He should be shaming himself. He should be shaming himself, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I hate I missed that one, man. I had a lot of fantasy things going on and still got more drafts to go.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I got a $100 entry one I'm doing.
Oh man, send me the invite. Yo, send him my link.
Man, if the next time we got my opening, I'll hit you up for real. But we full though. We've been rocking it for like about 4 or 5 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take your money in the PPE league, whatever call a league.
Okay. Yeah, man. Hey, but let me answer your question. Let me answer your question real quick. So the answer your question is this. Man, listen, the Knicks have been in a Groundhog Day scenario for about 50 years, where the front office is dumb. You don't have no players. You fire the front office. They get rid of the players. They bring in their own players. Then we find out that the front office is dumb and the players suck. And then so you fire the front office. You bring in the players. And so we've been in that loop forever.
Round and round
we go. Round and round we go. And so we might be in that situation right now, but we don't know it. But the thing is, we want to have faith in these guys that we have, and we won't know what we have unless you play them. Right? You gotta give Obi a role, bro. You gotta give Obi Toppin a role. Obi just can't be coming
player. That's a role. Freeze.
Nah. He's a bench player. He's not a role player. He a bench player. Obi not a role. What's Obi role?
Stand in the corner, shoot the three, or cut to the rim and get those I don't know what to call them, off the rim shots. You know, like Mitch, you got to get off, the block, or I don't even know how to explain it right now. But you got to get to clean up the rebounds, catch alleys, stay in that corner for three. What else do they want? What else do people want him to do? Dribble?
Right. See, because a role is this. A role is, hey, you the wing defender. Like the San Antonio Spurs gave Bruce Bowen a role. Bruce Bowen was their top wing defender. Whoever we play, whatever night it is, regardless of what team, if they got a wing scorer, you defending him all night long like a dog.
Well, we know Obi not a good defender though. He all right.
But that was my point. What is Obi role? Obi's
there's no such role on an NBA team as release before the rebound and then get the fast break dunk. That's not a role on a winning team.
Right. Obi's role should be something like
picking ain't a role. Cherry picking is a role.
Cherry picking's a role, yeah, for the point guard, not your four.
Yeah, I would say a role is more like, if you give Obi a role, like, hey Obi, listen, you want more minutes, man? You're our glass cleaner. That's your role. When you come in a game, the main thing we depend on you to do your main job is cleaning the glass.
Yeah,
that's your role.
Yeah,
like you want more minutes. The more you do it, and the better you get at it, the more minutes you will get, and the more we will allow you to expand your game into other areas. But when you come into the game, you a glass cleaner. It's the same thing with Cam Reddish.
I feel like Freeze, like, you could give a dude a role, but also his play determines what his role is supposed to be, right? So if Obi's not a good rebounder compared to a dude like Jericho Sims would get a little more time because he plays defense and he rebounds over a dude that Obi where we just relying on athleticism. You know what I mean?
Right. You just spoke to my point, though. So the point is if I give Obi a role, he can embrace that role during the season and in the off season. So in the off season, he can work on getting better at the role that you gave him.
And the thing is, when you give Obi that role, okay, that's something that he has to consciously attack and do. The other things he does well will still come.
Right.
Okay. While he's doing that role, that's the problem with him. Like, yeah, that the things he does well, but he's still going to be able to do those things and still do these other roles as well. Right, it's not like the things he's doing keeps him from these other things. I mean,
right. Coach, I agree with you, Coach. I was just going to say, when I was younger, I was in this crew called the Dwight Street Hustlers, right? It was 3 dudes. We used to rap, and we used to have a DJ, right? But every time we got ready to rap, and hey, bro, we was trash too, by the way, but we was trying. But every time we got ready to rap, the DJ would stop DJing and come around the thing, and he wanted to rap. But when we got in practice, he wanted to DJ. And we're like, yo, in practice, you was back here spinning records. You was back here on the turntable spinning records back when you used to get turntables from a place called Radio Shack. I know a lot of people don't even know what that is, but anyway. But then when the show start, he wanted to come around the thing, bumping the table, the needle jumping, scratching, and he want to rap. Bro, now you got to roll. Be the DJ. Yeah. If you don't want to DJ, let's find us a DJ, and then you can come around here and rap.
Right. Dre's the only DJ that can come up front and get that going, but it took him a little bit to figure it out.
Yeah, man. And the dude from what's the dude from Houdini? The dude with the green eyes. Y'all know, yeah, I know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. I forget his name though.
Oh, you talking the DJ?
Yeah.
Grandmaster
D.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew it was one of them Grandmaster,
Grandmaster,
like kind of names. Yeah, something master.
Yeah. And so the point is if everybody had, like for instance, if Quickly has a role, say Quickly's role is an off the bench scorer like Lou Williams. If that's the role you want him for, then give him that role and let him let him get good at that. Let other people take up other responsibilities and quickly work on that role. Right? Like Grimes, if Grimes's role is to be a perimeter defender, wing defender, let Grimes work on that role while he's young. And then as he gets older, he can expand on his game. But right now, you don't know what role these dudes are in. Everybody that's not named, think about it, everybody that's not named Julius Randle, one of the centers, or Jalen Brunson, their role is stand in the corner for the 3. Everybody, think about it. No matter who you ask, I'm not saying it's official, but think about it. Like when I asked Smoke right now, what was Obi's role? He said stand in the corner, shoot the 3. Like what's Cam Reddish's role? Oh, Cam Reddish, you got to be open for the 3. Yeah, I'm just saying that's what it is. Now it can't be that, bro. These cats have to have a defined role. Where they have to have a defined role, and they have to have structure so they can learn how to do their job and then expand their game slowly. Start internally and work their way out. You can't just say, Cam Reddish, you should be a star. Nah. The star of what? And you got to learn how to play the NBA game with teammates. You got to understand the team game. You just can't come out here and just go for yours, and if you don't get yours, just go back to the bench. Nah. You got to play with other players.
My only problem with like having Obi have a role or whatever is he's played long enough now in the NBA that's not a role. I mean, if you're a 4 and you're a natural 4, then at this point, at your age and how long you've been playing, I shouldn't have to tell you that that's your role as a 4 in the NBA or on any team. But that's just basic. Unless you're a straight up stretch 4 that stands outside and spots up for 3s all the time, he should know one of his roles are to get rebounds. He should know he needs to defend the paint better. I mean, that's the fact that we have to sit here and talk around this point with him at this point. And I want him to succeed. I want him to get better, but because right now, technically, him and Randle are our 4s. I mean, I mean, Hartenstein could technically play it too, but I think he's too good of a 5, to as far as that second unit, because he's going to be the facilitator of some things for that second unit. I mean,
I think Obi need to have an unlimited role. What I mean by the unlimited role, he needs to come in there with the mind frame that I'm gonna do any and everything it takes for me to get on that floor. And then once I get on that floor, I'm gonna do any and everything it takes for them not to take me off that floor.
Right.
His mind frame has to be that, I gotta get this guy out of my way. Because Obi's career is on the line this season. And it's not his fault. It's the organization fault, because we draft him into a spot that we had sold up. And we're not moving the guy that's in front of him, and you're not moving Obi. Something has to give amongst them two. I don't know. The organization need to make they need to pick a way they need to go. But Obi need to come inside that practice and be at Julius Randle's neck every day. That's the only way you're gonna have to move him out the way.
He's got to show he's a dog.
So you saying he got to take his spot, Jay Boogie? He shouldn't just be giving it, huh?
He got to go and take it and show to them that, y'all need to move on with this guy. And then at the same time he's working, he's killing them in practice, and he's showing up and doing what he need to do on the court. Either I'm taking this spot or y'all need to trade me. And you know what I'm saying? It's okay for him to be like that, but you have to show on the court. You have to show in practice and on the court that, this spot is mine for the taking. What are y'all going to do? You have to put the finger on, on the organization. Because right now, Obi still sits in a position where he's not all the way really there to take Julius' spot. And only reason why we trying to move Julius out the way is because of the terrible season he had last year. But we need to wipe that season out he had last year, and everybody need to start fresh. Obi, you need to come in there and take that spot and push the dude up out of there if you want.
I don't mean to cut you off, Jay Bug, because you're making a great point.
Yeah.
But I'm going to keep it real. That's not the only reason people want Julius gone. They want RJ to be the face. So with Julius in the way, right, it takes the role of what people want him to have, right? And I agree with you that Obi should take that role from him, but obviously he can't do that. Really, people want Julius gone so RJ be the face and RJ get the most opportunities out of everybody. That's really what it is.
But RJ, good night, fellas. Good night to the panel.
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, Uncle Freezy. Jay Boogie. Well, go ahead, brother.
You leaving?
No. I just got here, bro.
You came here and said good night. You gone?
No, that's just the manners in me, bro. That's just how I was growing. You know what I mean? But I hear the topic, man, and I'm good, man. I'm good, man. Just happy to be alive. You know what I mean? God is good to me. Just been working a lot. You know what I mean? Long time I haven't come on the Blorange Tears channel to come chop it up a little bit. Shout out to the coach. Nice meeting you. Shout out to Smoking Nick.
Is that a Trinidad? Is that a Trinidad flag?
Yes.
Okay.
Shout out Stephen Don Trini up. You heard?
Yes, sir. Hey.
I was born on the rock,
one of the finest young things I ever been with was from Trinidad. That's why I know that flag.
Yeah, I was born on the rock, my boy. Respect, my boy.
Yeah.
From the rock.
I missed out. That's the one that got away.
I hear you.
Was it spicy for you, coach? You like spice?
I ain't afraid of it. Shoot.
Yeah, man.
It's all pink inside, baby.
I hear that. I hear that. But crazy.
No, that was fire, my boy. I swear.
Yeah, man. So, hey, what's good, Steph?
Yeah, I was just listening to y'all. You know what I mean? The whole Obi thing. Freezy, you know, we've been talking about Obi since how long?
Since day one. Since day one. Yes.
Right. Yeah, he need to step up his game and and rebound the ball more, shoot the three more efficiently, because there's no way right now that he could come in training camp to beat out Randle. It's not like we could say trade Randle right now and put Obi in, because Obi's not pushing out Randle anytime soon. It's if Obi has a spectacular year and we coming up to the trading deadline or within the end of the year, we could say, okay, we were ready to move on from Randle. But Obi still, even though he earned his minutes last year for this year.
How many minutes did he earn? Hold on. How many minutes did he earn, actually?
Well, I'm talking about this year.
And it's all conjecture, because we can't say that, we can't answer that about anybody. How many minutes did RJ Barrett earn based on what his production? How many minutes did Julius Randle earn based on his production?
These guys are playing 32 minutes a game.
No. But play was not the question. The important word was earn.
Right.
See, and that's the point I want to get at. Like, I totally agree with Jay Boogie. It comes down to this: do we want a guy who got his shot because we had to get rid of somebody for him to play, or do we want someone that took that ish? Okay, that's facts right there. You guys want to talk about facts all the time? The fact is if he wants that, he needs to take it. And a real dog will find a way to take it. If he's all that, even if it's in 5 minutes and 10 minutes, if it's in practice, in preseason, training camp, he needs to take it from him.
Yo, Coach, I think you're forgetting we don't do taking. We give handouts in New York, man. You feel what I'm saying? We got all. I ain't even gonna get political with it, so I'm gonna leave that alone. But we giving handouts. We just want to get rid of the people that's really doing for us. So the people that we think will do good, right, gets those opportunities. And I'm not talking about anybody specific on this panel, but I've heard this conjecture, as Freezy said before, enough to know that speculation is just wide and wild. People just don't even care if dude earned it. They just want him in the position because they want it to look how they want it to look. And I keep bringing it up because that's the one opinion that I have to harp on. You know what I mean?
Look, and here's the thing. Like, I'm a coach, all right? And my son I hate to make a reference to football, but this is a coach in any sport. Okay, and when I've coached basketball teams, I've said the same thing. If someone's discouraged about the minutes they're playing, okay, you need to make yourself irreplaceable or more valuable, and you need to be more versatile. Okay, so if Obi wants to play, he's got to add more things to his game in the offseason. I've said this before. Get a better outside shot. Work on your footwork. Work on your lateral quickness. Yeah, he's fast as hell in a straight line, but he does not have that lateral quickness and stop on a dime quickness. He just doesn't have that smooth footwork. Right. That's all stuff that you can work on. Okay, he's naturally. I'm not saying he's not an athlete and he's stiff per se, but he has that stiffness to him.
But you can thrive. You can thrive and be a rigid athlete. Anthony Mason did it.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, but yeah, exactly. So, but and that's something
also had a role. Anthony Mason's role,
right,
was to be the Swiss Army knife off the bench. Regardless who you took out of the game, Anthony Mason could replace that player, right? Whether you took out a small forward or a power forward or a center. Mason didn't play center. Don't get it twisted. But he could bump down whoever the other big was on the floor to center, and he could cover up. He can guard on the perimeter.
Yeah, he can defend like 4 positions.
Right, that's the point I'm getting at. And he could pass, and he could be a playmaker in the open floor. Right? But that was his role. He carved out a niche. That's what I'm saying about Obi. I think Obi would be best served as finding a niche, the one thing that he's good at doing, and just do the heck out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Like, did he have a position when he played in college?
He was a center. That's all I remember.
But he was a center. But all the highlights and games that I saw of him, he was all over the place. It wasn't like he was
Obi.
yeah.
You know about Obi in college?
Yeah.
No, I think Obi played power forward for Dayton. I don't think he was a center.
No, he played center, bro.
Yeah, he was the big man for them.
Yeah,
but a lot of times in college, they do the whole
guards.
3 guards, 2 forwards thing, or But he was kind of positionless though. Like he was just the best guy on the team.
Nobody knew he.
No, go ahead. No,
I was gonna say nobody envisioned Obi Toppin coming into the NBA being a center in the NBA. It's like Robert Horry played center in college too, but nobody envisioned him being a center in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember that team where it was Hollywood Robinson, Latrell Sprewell, and Robert Horry at Alabama?
At Alabama,
yeah. Sprewell played the 3. Robinson. Yeah. Sprewell played the 2, 3, and 4 at Alabama. You know what I'm saying? So just because you do it in college don't mean you going like Andre Robinson, the shooting guard for the Oklahoma City Thunder, was a power forward at Colorado. Man, Alec Burks was a point guard at Colorado. He's not a point guard in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So, but what I'm saying is with the role thing, my thing with the role thing is with young players. With young players, you got to give them structure and have them play into that thing until they can develop the other areas of their game. That's the thing I'm getting at before. Hey, let them do one thing at a time before you try to give them a whole bunch of responsibilities doing other stuff.
And really, positions in basketball, that really, to me, it more pertains to defense. Like you can rock on offense with 5 positionless players, like just 5 ballers that could all pass, that take good shots, that have they move without the ball, they set picks for each other, they make their shots. The height don't matter that much when you're playing offense or the position. But on defense, it does help to have a rim protector. Sometimes could be a 6'8" guy that can jump and got long, reach.
Like Derrick Jones.
Yeah, like guys like that. But for the most part, like this whole pigeonholing people to positions, you know what I'm saying? It's like, look at the Warriors because they're the champ.
Well, coach, that's this generation basketball is positionless basketball. But when you look back then, your time and our time, it was always center, power forward, small forward. You know what I mean? So it's the game is changing and evolving every day.
Well, right. Well, that's why it's just like nature.
I agree with you. So I agree with you when you say you can't pigeonhole, a player into one position because they could play multiple. But as far as Obi, his position is just power forward. He can't play a shoot. He can't play
small
small forward.
He's got to make himself more versatile. It's on him to develop his game like that. And for people to say he's got to play, like the things he has to do better, it's stuff you do in the offseason. I'm sorry, it is. Like, I mean, granted, if you have more minutes
behind the scenes, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You're talking about workouts and stuff?
You got to have your game ready before you get in the game, not the other way around.
Okay.
Right.
So let me ask the panel a question real quick. So how much minutes do you think Obi should play this year?
So Stafford, does minutes make Obi better?
I think last year, from what we saw with him getting more minutes, he produced more.
Was that because he got better, or was his production just better because he got more minutes?
But I believe his production was more better when he got more minutes.
Okay.
So I'm saying, because we, I was on Shout Out to the Queen, was on a show earlier, and I was saying to her that he should get at least 20 minutes, and Randle should get 28.
Okay.
Disagreed with me, but I feel like if you give him more minutes, he'll more produce better for us. So
the reason why I say that though is stop because I just look at it differently. How I look at it is when you took R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle out of Obi Toppin's way, and you played a more free-flowing style of offense and defense, you saw Obi Toppin produce more because there were less things in the way Obi could move around in the half court without the ball being stopped from somebody who wasn't the ISO. Because when you take a 6'9" athlete, a power forward, and put him in the corner and say, wait right here until somebody kick the ball to you, I think you limited what he can do, right? But when you take out all the ball stoppers and let everybody share the basketball, I think you could see everybody get better, even Emmanuel Quickly, who averaged 3 triple-doubles after that happened. I mean, 2 triple-doubles, I'm sorry, after that happened. There was a game that Emmanuel Quickly had a triple-double and Obi had, I think, at the time, a career high in points, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, if you take if you allow the ball to move freely, regardless of the number of minutes, I think that caters to what Obi Toppin can do.
And Andre Bryant, he just made a really good point. Like, that's why, look, I'm gonna be upset at the decision because I don't like the replacement. But at this point, it's if you ain't gonna play Randle, or if Randle doesn't earn the more minutes than Obi or whatever, then we play him less than 30 minutes with all that money he's making, it lowers his value in a trade.
But coach, this is the thing, and I get what you're saying, and I clearly agree with what you're saying, right? But you see the coach that we have, you running these guys down to the T. And
that's what I'm saying. We got to trade him before the season then.
No, but then you see in certain times when you play Randle extended minutes, he's tired. So all I'm saying is that if Randle could be more efficient within 28 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, well, I think 30 is a sweet spot.
I feel Obi could come in and give us that same type of production that he gave us last year at the end of the season.
I feel like people always say, oh, he could. But Randle gets the minutes because he's the most reliable person we have. Whether we like how it looks or we like the optics might not be the prettiest, but he's playing the most because he's the most reliable. No, but you see what I'm saying? Yes, he might need more rest, but it's a lot of wishful thinking, just thinking because Obi's getting the minutes, he's going to get the same production. That doesn't equal the same.
Yeah. And the thing is, I've always said the same thing that Paris Duggar just said in the chat. Why don't they have different games? Why can't Randle or Obi, but more likely Randle though, be small ball 5? Why can't we play them both?
Because Tibbs have different games. Protection. Tibbs loves his rim protection, and you know he's not going to do that.
Right. And here's the thing too. Why does an all-star have to change positions for a lottery guy that hadn't proven himself to get to play? Why can't Obi do that? Obi the one that played center in college, right? Didn't y'all say
Obi don't grab rebounds or play defense? That's why.
Yeah. Right. So why do you have to move Randle? Why don't you just put Obi there?
That's what I'm saying.
I know who the answer is.
Why you asking too many good questions, Freeze? You know you can't do that.
Yeah. I just don't want the crazy EG comparison to start to happen. I think we got the guy in the side, Hartenstein. I'm telling you, bro.
You play the X-Files music?
Play it, bro. Play it. I'm part of that Hartenstein hive, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He's my Wiener Schnitzel sandwich.
Wiener Schnitzel. Beer fest.
He's coming into backup Mitch, right?
He's coming from Mitch's head, bro. I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah, I think this.
I heard somebody said that tonight.
This is the Hartenstein channel, bro.
We'll see.
The Hartenstein hive started here.
Hey, EJ,
don't be falling for it. Don't be falling. The dude talked to me. I talked to him for a long time. I was like, oh yeah, you willing to say that on camera? He came on camera and said it, and he do it every time he come on, bro.
Yep.
The Hartenstein hive started here.
Hey, Freezy, if you guys go on Twitter, I mean on Twitch, today he did about a 3-hour dissertation because he's creating a whole big series, a Hartenstein series on YouTube. He's already got the hypothesis down, or he's going all in with it.
I saw him go live on
This is the thing with me, right? This is the thing with me. If Hartenstein was so good and he's coming to take Mitch's head, why didn't the Clippers re-sign him?
Right, but okay.
Well,
I wanted.
He was
That's
a free
the question
agent.
we wanted. Yeah, and but we already had a question on the floor staff, and on this, the questions we were talking about was what training camp battle are you interested in seeing? Right?
Okay,
That one.
Yeah. So if it's a Hartenstein thing, then let's talk about that. Are you interested in seeing the Hartenstein versus Mitchell Robinson training camp battle?
Yep.
Oh,
No competition, man. That's Mitch.
ooh, no, I'm trying to think.
It ain't.
Mm.
Mitch ain't even
Mitch got some of the best hands as a big man I ever seen, man. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm rolling with Mitch, man. I got to roll with Smoking Nick on this one, man.
Mitch be guarding. He be blocking guards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you see that block he did on Kevin Durant to when he was at the 3-point line?
Yeah.
Hartenstein's the best rim protector in the league.
If we need to take the leash off somebody, it ain't Obi, it's Mitch.
All I'm saying is
know what I mean?
based on numbers, based on data, Isaiah Hartenstein is far and away the best rim protector in the NBA. The past 3 years, and it's not even close. And
so why did the Clippers give him up?
How we just hearing about him then? Well, me personally, I can only speak.
This is the first year he played 68 games.
And that's Smoking Nick. That's because you don't do research.
That's not true. That's not true.
That is true, because if you did research, because these numbers have been out there for 3 years. You didn't research it. You can't blame us.
There's a lot of politics involved.
Yeah, bro.
In playing time, my friend.
Yeah, hey.
I know that though.
So hold up. So you mean to tell me the Clippers rather sign John Wall than signing Hartenstein to keep Hartenstein to sign John Wall and let Hartenstein walk?
Listen, let me. So okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you this.
There's a lot of bad GMs.
I'm gonna tell you this. Everybody that works in the front office don't make the best moves, and a lot of front offices operate by politics, right? Because to be honest with you, if we want to be totally honest, if we want to keep it a 1,000 times 1,000, Quentin Grimes and RJ Barrett should have been splitting minutes at the 2 this year. There shouldn't have been even an Evan Fournier thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what
happens on our team.
Grimes should have been getting more minutes. Obi should have been getting more minutes.
Hold on, specifically, Grimes should be getting more minutes over who? RJ or
Fournier.
Hold on, let me speak for itself.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I'm thinking what Fournier did. Fournier did a great job as a veteran, right? But this team here should have been a development team this year. That once Tibbs got sour on Kemba, we knew the season was over, right?
Yeah. It was really when he put Burks at point guard that killed it for me.
Right, but he put Burks at point guard because he was sour on Kemba. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at. When Derrick Rose had the injury where he was supposed to be out 3 weeks and he didn't return for the rest of the year. Yeah, I remember that, right? Remember when the injury first happened? Derrick Rose was supposed to come back right after the All-Star break, right?
Yeah.
Remember that? Derrick Rose didn't come back at all, right? Derrick Rose sat, right? Once you knew Derrick Rose wasn't coming back, Kemba Walker was gone. Why are you even your 2 veteran point guards, right, are gone, and you didn't go out and sign a veteran point guard to replace them? You should have just go ahead and play these kids.
I felt like Quickly and McBride should have got more minutes. But we talked about it, you know what I mean? But he put Burks because he was trying to win instead of develop, and I feel like Burks is a good reserve point guard, the third point guard that touches the ball. He shouldn't be bringing it up all the time, making the first decisions. I didn't like that at all.
Right, but
smoking,
the point that I was getting at is not that. The point that I was getting at is there is politics in every front office. Right, there are politics in every front office. There are some guys that should be playing that don't. And then there are some guys that are playing and you wonder why they even getting minutes. What are they doing out here? I'll give you an example. Lou Dort. What does Lou Dort do for any franchise?
Good on defense.
He good on defense, right?
How do you know that?
You don't know that. That's his reputation, right?
The media
tells
you that.
Because the media tells you that. But I'm going to pull up Lou Dort defensive rating, Stefan. I'm going to pull it up. Not because I'm not trying to show you up. I'm just trying to.
No. I won't take nothing personal, bro.
Right. No, I just want to. All right. So,
like everyone says, Tyreek Hill's the fastest in the NFL, but there's a lot of people in the NFL that have a track background or are faster than him, and he'll even admit it.
Right. Hey, bro, do you know Lou Dort's defensive rate? I'm gonna put it on the screen so you can see it. It's gonna make you laugh, right? I'm gonna put it on the screen because if I tell you what it is, you go like, nah, you lying, right? Lou Dort is a lockdown defender, right?
He's a role player though.
Look at Lou Dort defensive rating.
He's a role player.
Lou Dort's defensive rating is 115. That is atrocious, bro. That's atrocious. Lou Dort is not a defender. Lou Dort is not a defender, and he's not a scorer. The dude shoots 40% from the floor on 14 shots a game. The dude shoots 33% from three, so he's not even a 3-and-D guy. He's a reputation guy. That's what I'm saying about politics. Why is this dude even playing?
How many years he been in the league?
I think it's 4? Let me check. I'm gonna check to see how many.
Then they re-sign him to a contract.
Yeah, they just. Hey.
Like,
yeah, he played 3 years for the Thunder.
Like, just appearing to have energy and appearing that you're running around. You could be running around hustling and doing nothing positive. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like some people have the appearance of, like Mitchell Robinson has the appearance of. I mean, he's a great athlete. Like sometimes you see him run down the court, you're like, wow, Mitch is fast. You know.
Right.
But he's got some limitations, and I'm a Mitch Robinson guy. I love the guy, but he's got some offensive limitations he's got to work on, and you know.
And so Stafford, the reason why I brought up Lou Dort stuff is because there are a lot of guys around the league that get a lot of minutes, and you wonder why they're even playing, right? And then there are some guys that don't play, like Obi and Grimes and McBride and Cam Reddish. You wonder why they're not on the court. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just all about coach preference and organization preference, right? I mean, you know, it's tough that it's like that, but it's like some dudes be like, "Yo, Uncle Freezy, why you don't let me get on and do such and such?" It's because I like Jay Boogie, I like Stefan. Is it politics? Is it politics? So what? So what? You know what I'm saying? It's a part of it, right, Coach? Like me, Coach, and Greedy rock together all the time. You know what I'm saying? Is it politics? So what? It's what it is. It's a preference, right? To say Hartenstein is not a good player, I don't necessarily agree. The thing I disagree with is how come he hadn't done it in a larger sample size. Now that might be an argument that we could have. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like if the dude plays more minutes, the dude to be more productive, right? But for the most part, if you're a this is the reason why I don't think Hartenstein plays, and I don't think it's fair. He's a white dude with a long last name, right? And he don't look He don't look like Joel Embiid.
He's 1/4 brother, just so you know. His dad's mixed.
Yeah, I know. I know it. Yeah. So, but he don't look the part. You know what I'm saying? It's the same. This is the same thing. Like you see a 6'5" white shooting guard, you're like, yeah, he a shooter. But you see a 6'5" black shooting guard, you're like, yo, he a dunker.
Right.
But you ain't seen neither one of them shoot a basketball or anything like that.
Might be Rex Chapman.
Yeah. It might be Bobby Sura.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Might be
I heard that name in a long time.
I know, right?
Bobby Sura.
Bobby Sura, yeah.
Yeah, man. And I'm just saying, man, give the dude a chance, bro. If we pounded the table for Obi to get a chance, and we pounded the table for Grimes to get a chance, or for Cam, man, give Hartenstein a chance. That's not.
No, but there's the thing that catch me with Coach and shout out to the Queen, where they say Hartenstein might be coming after Mitch real soon. But this is the thing with me. How come the Clippers never decided to re-sign him instead of giving John Wall a contract? If he was the best rim protector the last 3 years.
Well, let me ask you this: how come the Knicks waited for 3 years to give Mitchell Robinson a contract?
That's a good question.
I mean, most rookie players on their deal waited out until they 4th year, they 3rd year to get signed. So I wouldn't say that. And because RJ just getting signed. Garland just got signed. Homeboy in Memphis, he just signed his rookie extension. Zion just took, and all them going into their 4th year.
Right. So they got at least 100 million more, right?
Yeah, and they signed before they hit unrestricted free agency. Mitch hit unrestricted free agency.
How much money Hartenstein got signed for with us?
2 years, $16 million.
Yeah,
so he got $8 million a year, right?
Yeah. He's the 30th highest paid center in the league right now.
Yeah, but that $8 million that he got, that's your reason why, Steph. They're not going to get that man no $8 million in the Clippers
and not play.
And he's going to be like the 11th, 12th guy off the bench. Them dudes got the deepest team it is in the league, and they're going for it this year. You know, and plus that little money he got, that money went to John Wall because that's the backcourt. John Wall at the point,
and Reggie Jackson,
Kawhi Leonard on the left, and Paul George on the right, and then they can put in Batum and they can put in Morris. That's the best 5 that you could put on the floor that can switch and recover in the league.
Yeah, but what the Clippers don't understand,
he was a bench player though.
Huh?
He's a bench player.
He's a bench player.
But John Wall wasn't even playing.
You're not gonna get
the free. That's what I'm saying. Even though he just said that starting 5, right? He just said that starting 5.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, if he's one of the best rim protector in the league, and you going for a chip, why wouldn't you sign him to come off the bench? If he's
the Clippers
such
won,
that good player.
I just told you they 5, and their first center is Kubac. That's their first center,
and he's not even good.
Zubac, yeah,
he's good enough.
No, you don't understand. If you look at the stats, he's a -20 net rating for them, and Hartenstein was a +17.
Right.
Like if you ever look at NBA.com advanced stats, you got to look at that, man.
Look at these numbers, bro.
They're shooting themselves in the foot. Like when he's with Paul George, they were a 24.8 net rating. When him and Paul George played together.
Why let him go? Why let him go?
Because maybe they don't have guys in their front office that value that or looking at that stat. But that's the stat that made Jokic, like the first 2 years, they weren't looking at him like that. Right. But those advanced stats were saying he was going to be that, and eventually he was. So
and EG 14,000 called it.
The same guy.
The dude that is saying this about Hartenstein when Jokic played his first 10 games, this dude, EG14,000, said, hey, this dude's going to be the league MVP, and he might be the greatest center of all time. And people laughed at him, bro. They laughed at him. And guess what? After he said that, Jokic went on to win 2 league MVPs.
Yeah, but he's not going to be the best center of all time. Fuck no.
Hey, okay, name one. All right, name a center that won league MVP 2 times or more.
Shaq.
No.
Oh, well, he's not going to be better than Kareem or Will.
Okay.
Or not even, just Bill. Let's just say Bill.
All right, so you name Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
Wilt Chamberlain.
And Wilt Chamberlain. All right, so who else is on the list? Who else better than him?
Shaq as a center.
No, Shaq ain't won 2 MVPs.
All right, Shaq ain't won 2. How many MVPs did David Robinson win?
1.
Okay, but
did Moses Malone win 2 or just 1?
I think he won 1.
Yeah, but compared,
their impact is way better than Jokic as players.
How?
Yo, David Robinson was one of the best defensive centers in the league for years.
He might be the greatest defensive center all time. David Robinson.
So you asking me questions and I'm answering them.
Right. Right, but here's the thing that you're not taking into account.
What?
Jokic's age.
So a lot of time.
You're comparing those dudes' entire career to a young 2-time league MVP.
But you said he was going to be the greatest center of all time.
I didn't say that.
Well, you said EG14,000. No, I didn't mean you specifically. You said that the dude said he was going to be. So I just wanted to be like over like dudes like Shaq impact. Right, I don't care if a dude wins 5 MVPs. If you don't impact the game like Shaq impacted the game, I would never say he was better than Shaq.
Think about the point you're arguing, though. The fact is 10 games in, he made some bold predictions that most of them came true so far.
And he's on the way.
Yeah, I went too far.
And also, the thing that you're saying about Shaq is Shaquille O'Neal played with 3 of the best guards to ever breathe breath. What if Jokic played with 3 of the best guards to ever breathe breath? What if Jokic played with Penny Hardaway, Dwayne Wade, there was a year with LeBron James. He played with LeBron James one time. He played with Steve Nash one time. He played with Kobe Bryant.
He played with Kobe in his prime, Penny in his prime, and Wade in his prime. So you're correct about that. But right. Shaq, my man, is Shaq.
Right. I understand what you're saying, but no, you're wrong.
I'm not even gonna compare that dude to even play in an era like that.
It's Shaq, bro.
He's not even playing against no centers. He's playing at the top of the key face in the rim. He playing further out than Tim Duncan.
He's not playing against no centers. Is that Shaq's fault that no dude realized?
No. I'm talking about Jokic.
Is that Jokic's fault?
I'm not saying that his fault, but for me to even think about trying to compare him to some of them elite guys that was going against elite guys night in, night out in the paint, I can't do it.
Right.
But you're painting a picture of what a center was then. Like the things he does other things that those guys they can't touch him on.
So, but do that translate into them winning in the playoffs though?
Ooh.
Not yet.
Ooh, when did Shaq
that's what I'm talking about.
You can't do it by Jamal Murray's good, but you can't do it by yourself.
Yeah, and Shaq didn't win his first title until his 8th season. Shaq didn't win his first title until his 8th season.
That's a good point. Most dudes don't win till they become grown men.
How many championships did Patrick Ewing win?
None.
I'm just saying.
He wanted to lay up when he's supposed to dunk type shit. You know sorry, my
Nah, don't do my man Pat like that, bro. Pat Nees is done.
He misses finger rolls.
Right. He would have led when he's supposed to dunk type
and that's my man too. But
Yo, come on, man. You know I love the Knicks, man. Come on, man.
but what I'm saying about him,
argument, though.
But what I'm saying about this with Hartenstein is this, okay? I was just like you guys with the whole thing when he started coming up with this stuff. But I'm an old school OG guy, you know, with a lot of stuff. But I adapt and I take in information and I listen to him. And he told me some things to look at, and then I went down the rabbit hole myself. And I looked at a lot of stuff. And every time I look further and further, I started believing it. Because I couldn't find anything wrong, like with what he was saying. Like it matched everything, and it isn't just gimmicky stuff that, you know, if a guy has a one game, he plays 5 minutes and scores 10 points and the balloons things. There's
no. I did my research on Hartenstein, so I agree with you. He was looking like he's going to be a premium role player for us. He might even. You know, if somebody gets hurt, slide into the spot.
But this is the point I was going to get at before. I got sidetracked, but because Jay Boogie said something about how much we're paying him. Okay,
$8 million.
You don't bring in a guy that's supposedly just going to be a little role player. Okay, when technically on the surface, his resume didn't warrant that price. That they saw something, and they also saw something enough to when. After they signed him, you remember what that first big old deal, who that included? That first big deal for Mitchell, Donovan Mitchell included Mitchell Robinson.
Right. You talking about the trade offer?
Right. That was the first big offer. So they were willing to give up Mitchell Robinson because they must think they have something in him.
Or they asked for Mitchell, you know? Goes both ways.
I mean, I don't know about. I thought that's what we offered originally.
Yeah, but here's the thing. That people didn't realize too. We already had a center making $8 million as a backup, and he played good during the playoff season, right? They shipped him off for Hartenstein. No, they could have kept Noel at the same money, and Noel already know the offensive defensive system. Right? You know,
really easy. You want greasy hands to be with us.
No.
You want butter fingers to be with us again.
No, that's not what I said.
We didn't even see Nerlens this year, and I'm sorry, Freeze. We didn't even. Where was Nerlens this year?
He played.
That's what I'm saying.
He played 26 games, but yeah, but the thing is, I'm not saying that I wanted him. What I'm saying is, I understand the motivation of bringing in Hartenstein.
He's defensive and offensive efficient. I mean, capable. So, and he gives you a little bit more, and he stays healthy, so he gives you more.
Right. Okay.
I mean, he literally has as far as centers go, he has a complete game.
Complete, all the way around.
Like he pick and rolls great. He catches lobs. He protects the rim.
Right.
He actually will peel off of his man and move his feet fast enough to follow guards driving down the lane.
He said follow guards, guys, and don't get it twisted. You're not going to put Hartenstein on the guard during the game.
Right.
But if he switched onto a guard, he can hold his own. That's what he's getting at. That's one of the things that we talked about. Sorry, Coach. I just wanted to.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And he's a good enough outside shooter that, you know, he could be a threat at that, but he doesn't try to do that. But really, his number one attribute, which he got from playing in Europe and what a lot of Europeans have, is his passing ability.
Yep.
And his passing alone is enough to wow me. Like some of the passing I've seen, and it's his passing IQ. You know, it's just I'm really surprised, man. And he's a spot that I'm excited. Like if traditionalists want to make it to where even if we get rid of Randle or whatever we do with Obi, if it's Obi or Randle or whoever, like Hartenstein, to me, at first we can say, all right, he'll sub at the 4 and the 5, whatever, you know, and get his minutes that way. I hope that's what they do, but that might sacrifice, you know, Obi's minutes obviously now, so then it's going to piss off some more people.
Right.
So,
right. Nah, man, I agree with you. I think that's one of the training camp battles that we want to see. Hartenstein versus Mitch.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Mitch, you got the bag. Mitch, you got the bag. You better step your game up. Because if we paying Mitch $15 million a year, and he come in here and Mitch is still 8-8, I can't co-sign for a dude getting paid $15 million getting 8-8. I'm sorry.
Freezy, you know that's not my gripe, right? My gripe is with the two main players on the team that has to show up that got the bag. That is RJ and Mr. Randle. Because both of them going into their new deal and they have to show and prove. I know it's a different topic, but to me, those are the two guys that has to show and prove. Y'all got paid. So I don't want to hear nothing about.
What about Fournier?
About RJ. I don't want to hear nothing about RJ. He's still young. I mean,
no. Now that Brunson's in town, as long as he's playing and he's healthy, we have a point guard now. Excuses for them two are over, in my book.
I think with Fournier, Freezy, I think it wasn't his shooting; it was just his defense. So if he could come in and play decent defense, I don't think that we have a problem with Fournier because he shot the lights out last year.
The thing is, on the surface, it seems that way. But if you really delve into it, Fournier technically was one of our most reliable defenders last year.
Yeah.
If you look at the analytics and the numbers.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that because Freezy did bring up that point last year. I think him and Grimes had the same.
No, him and RJ.
RJ, right? Him and RJ had the same.
But no, I feel Fournier's role on a successful team, like we can't count on him, like we're trying to count on him. Like he's best off the bench, personally.
I think the problem
when he's hot, you roll with him. When he ain't hitting the shots, that's when you bench him.
Yeah, exactly. That's perfect because he played better defense than RJ. Did they have the same rating or was he better?
Same rating.
Oh, because he looked better, but that's my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, like streaky guys like that, I agree. And it's okay. To me, a player should have that pressure on him. Look, you got to know, you got to hit your shots or you ain't staying in, bro. You know, that comes down to that. It's a win-win situation for us because if he stays in, it's because he's making shots. If he ain't making them, hit the pines.
Hey, so Sammy the King says Robinson ain't doing nothing. Don't nobody in the league fear Mitchell Robinson. Thank you for the generous contribution, Sammy. We appreciate you, bro.
Sammy.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you, bro. You know that. Yeah, man. I think the training camp battle thing is going to be intriguing, to say the least.
I don't believe Evan Fournier's defense is nowhere near like RJ's defense. You got to look at the caliber players that both of them guys play. RJ gonna play the most elite guy.
Yeah,
Evan
that's a good point.
The most elite guy. So I mean, even if the numbers line up, the players don't line up. So just to me, I think that's different. But I'm gonna go a little bit out on a limb for RJ. I think he really is gonna have a breakout season.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that because RJ already knew he was in the trade mode. He knew they was trying to trade him. He knew they was trying to get rid of him and everything. So with that, being said, are you trying to get rid of me? Okay, I'm gonna play hardball. If you don't get rid of me, you're gonna give me much money as I want. You're gonna offer much money as I want. RJ didn't do none of that. And that 120 million he got incentives that he got to reach to make that. So when you tell me you trade me, and then I come back and okay, I'm gonna show you, and he takes less, that tells me that he's on a performing mission. He's getting ready to let you know, and he took 4 years. So
I don't mean to cut you off because I'm feeling your passion. I feel like they used the trade against him to get him to take what they wanted him to take, bro, because he wasn't worth that max.
You know, but still in all, you talking about 4 years. He left a whole year off.
But no, they didn't offer him that year. He was never getting. He was never going to get it.
But that's not how it worked. That's not how it worked. In order for you to get the 5th year, you have to get max money. So if you don't get the 182, you can't get the 5th year. So anybody that take 1 cent less than max money can own the highest year they can take is 4 years.
Do you think they offer him the max money?
No, because he would have took the max money.
That was my question. That's my whole point. I don't think they even offered him that.
Right.
Well, I know they ain't offering him that.
No,
I know
that they ain't offering him that. Hey, yeah, I got about 10 minutes left, man. I got about 10 minutes left, so I want to just get into which I think is the most intriguing training camp battle. That you are y'all intrigued by the Emmanuel Quickly versus Deuce McBride training camp battle?
Yeah, that's interesting because everybody's on Grimes right now, and I want to see if he really a two-way player like people say. So, yeah, that's intriguing.
Dude, I'm sorry. I'm meant to say. Did I say Grimes or McBride? I meant to say McBride.
Yeah,
I meant to say McBride.
No, you said McBride.
You said Grimes and Quickly.
No, I meant McBride and Quickly. I thought that's what it.
Nah. I don't see no battle.
Yeah, you did say McBride.
McBride. Oh well, McBride ain't ready yet. If you did say McBride, he ain't ready yet.
Yeah. So if McBride's not ready, do you cut him?
No.
That was a super extreme you just went to, Howard.
No, but think about this.
No, but we already signed him. We already signed the boy to a contract, so we can't come.
Ready. But I mean, he's not ready. Like 5 minutes again.
But y'all not thinking about practicality, right? Now, what I'm saying to you is this: if you keep McBride. Right, that means the point guard position will be 4 players deep because you still have Derrick Rose. You said you just brought in Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
Right, and so you're looking at a Brunson, Rose, Quickly, McBride.
But Quickly
well, okay, so that's what I'm saying. So. If McBride gets point guard's minutes over Quickly, right, and you have Fournier and Grimes at the two, right, then what do you do with Emmanuel Quickly?
I think Quickly is more of a 2.
Yeah, so I think IQ and Grimes, like I said before, that's the real battle.
Right.
I think Quickly also too is going to be playing off ball. I don't think he's going to be playing the point guard that much because Rose going to need to play, and I think McBride is going to get spot minutes like how he was getting before. So y'all dancing
around my point. What I'm telling y'all.
No, we're not.
Yes, you are. Listen, because what you said. Because I told you because we was talking about the point guard position, right? Then y'all say Quickly is a 2, but then when I said the two guard position is Fournier, Grimes with a little bit of RJ, right? So where do you play Grimes when you got 5 people in those spots?
Freezy, what I'm saying to you,
that's why you got to fight for minutes.
Because I said this earlier, right, on the Queen's Court. Big up to Queen. I said that those guys is not going to have a night all the time. It's not going to be Quickly night all the time. It's not going to be Grimes night all the time. It's not going to be D Rose night all the time. It's going to have some nights where Quentin Grimes is not shooting the ball efficiently and Quickly comes in as the off guard and Rose play the point. Or it can happen vice versa. So I think when it comes to the point guard position, the minutes will be allocated depending on who is shooting a decent percentage that night or who is playing well. Okay. Because to say Quickly is probably not going to play point or even sit on the bench is kind of crazy when you've been playing 20 minutes for the last 2 years.
I know. That's my point. let me hold on, Coach. Let me do this real quick. Sammy the King, thank you for the generous contribution. Sammy the King says, "Can we be realistic? We overpaid for Brunson, who just had his best season in 4 years at 16 points per game. He ain't moving the needle. We have another long season ahead of us. We extended RJ because Ainge ain't want him. Them. Wow. He said keep it real. He said keep it real.
Keep it real.
And Brunson's another situation that it's an opportunity, lack of opportunity situation. Okay. First of all, you got to understand who he's playing with. Okay. And when he was not playing with Luka for 17 games, his averages were all-star level. And it's not just that little playoff thing he did. And it ain't even little. Those playoff things were next level impressive. I'm sure all you guys can agree to that. His averages were like 20. They were like 20.8 or whatever. Or you might as well just say 21. Like almost 8 rebounds. It was like 7 point something rebounds. And I mean, not rebounds. I meant assists. 7.8 assists. And when you're doing that at point guard and being efficient, shooting over 50%, that's an all-star point guard, is it not?
And I want to add to this too. If you say we overpaid Brunson, fine, that's your opinion. But Brunson wasn't coming here to be the man. He is just a piece to the puzzle that we are building. So if in your opinion, you want to say we overpay him, and in your opinion, he's coming into be the man, I don't think so. It's a position that we needed, and it's a position that we needed to fill.
Yeah, so if you look at starting point guards in the NBA, that's middle of the pack.
To say that we overpaid him, I think was kind of crazy. But we still needed to fill that void over how many years?
Oh, it's his team, though. It's his team.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson's team. Because they tried to trade RJ, and they still trying to trade Julius.
But Jay Boogie, do you know your boy RJ is getting the most money on the team now?
I don't care about the money. I'm telling you.
He's not getting the most money on the team this year.
Because you get paid the most, it doesn't make you the leader of the team, guys.
But it's still going to be a lot of expectations on RJ for that particular contract.
Of course.
Even how you want to split it and how you want to say it, it's going to be a lot of expectations on him because he got paid.
Oh, he should have those expectations. He asked for the max.
All right, so let me do this real quick. Hold on, y'all. Sammy the King, thank you for the generous contribution. Sammy says, how many wins did Brunson produce in those games that Luka wasn't there in those 17 games? We signed him because Uncle here enrolls and Daddy here. Facts. He's like, yo, his uncle and his daddy here. That's why he signed with the team. That's the only reason why we got him. That's what Sammy's saying.
Okay, well,
that's what Sammy's saying.
And then that's why we got him at a discount. If you think about it, because as far as value of starting point guards in the NBA, he's not up there that high.
Hold on, Coach. What was the competition? How many offers did he get?
One. It was 2 teams. There was only one opposing team bidding for services.
And did Dallas even give him an offer? Or if so, what was it?
Dallas was willing to give him more money.
All right, so I got to end on that note.
Mark Cuban has already said.
Coach, let me just end on this note right here. Thank y'all. I'm gonna just say this just real quick. Thank y'all for watching, man. We appreciate y'all for coming through, hanging out with us. Make sure you check us out on the audio podcasting platforms. The link form are in the description below. Make sure you check us out on the Patreon. Yo, me and a bunch of the Blorange Tears family, man, we got a lot of stuff going on, man. Me, Coach, Greeny, Rivera, Shot Smoke, the People's Champ. We got a lot of things going on, man. We're gonna bring y'all way, man. So subscribe to the channel, smash the like button. The Knicks Morning Drive will be on tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So I'll be back your way at 9 a.m. in the morning, rocking and rolling, all gravelly and frog voice and everything. Thank y'all again for watching. Sammy the King, thank you for that generous contribution. Sammy the King says, Donovan was the guy. Man, we messed that up. Yeah, man. All right, we out of here. We'll holler at y'all later. Peace, y'all.